Haha, CPU go brrr. It's so high up right now. Never mind, it's back to like a solid 20.
Over 15,000 games to try to discuss and later shelve. The consistency alphabetically, and player's choice can go to hell. The size and shape of discs and cards for an hour.
They listed the wrong Scott Wozniak, I think, on the official soundtrack for this.
But it's their loss, for they got no spare time to waste. This is something I know we should all embrace. I'm on a quest to address all the requests. Please understand this kind of stuff is virginetic cachet. We have been blessed, no time to rest. I've got a lot to address. You don't need sex, this is better anyways. It's stupid Nintendo games. Might I suggest a Geist to start things out, then moving on to pack and roll.
Why is Voice Mod still starting? Come on, Voice Mod, up the game. Oh, it's literally not responding. Out of my face. Tell me that you understand. Oh, they removed the other characters' voices. Ew.
I shouldn't dwell. I've got no sex to sell. Take them all and distribute them in your spread and we play. It's a swell, these extra copies, extra ban you from hell.
I have you play.
Smash to play every single day.
And new music, actually.
I might be slightly
One had to be music. I don't know where to put the music. Probably on my stack of video games.
If you're down and feeling blue when life drops in around you, there's a solution for all that pollution to in your brain. Stupid Nintendo games.
Jesus Christ, my CPU. Oh, never mind. This time I had like a lot of stuff like on. I guess I'm gonna blast off, man. No opening. Bad. Sup, dude? How can I help you? Okay, I'll tell the others. I'm doing a Tartarus around midnight. See you there. Only me. I'm the only one going to Tartarus.
Hey y'all, Scott here. Imagine today's events occurring in the past.
I'm just
It's like to live in an era
watching Scott the Waz just so I don't have severe boredom syndrome.
I'm gonna say in 5 minutes. What the hell is this? Why is it good? We need to go a hint closer to utter dog shit. I said a hint. The year is 1987. This is what we call a video game.
Oh shit, we don't have August.
At the time, things could only go up graphically. They were trying all kinds of 3D styles. Some games you could hear crystal clear sound in with voice acting, and other games were movies you could slightly interact with. The future was looking bright. Imagine what video games will look like 30 years from now. Holy f***, it's wider? What's the main driving force behind new video game consoles? Better graphics. I'll let you shoot me in the foot if you look nice. We all want our video games to look better each and every generation. But sometimes it's fun not to care. The graphical style of older games were simpler, no doubt, but there was a certain magic to it. That old school Atari 2600 look. It's crude, it's not great, but there's something to be said about making the simplest of art understandable to the player, making it obvious to them that these are aliens in 4 pixels or less. It's oddly beautiful. Let the record show, I'm also legally blind. But when we move into the 8-bit and 16-bit era,
shit, we don't get her back until the 30th.
Similar style of making the most out of limitations, but this feels more like actual art somebody drew. Squished into art. 16-bit art is so much better too. This was taking pixel art and adding so many more colors and details in the music of this era. Oh my god, it may be a bunch of bleeps and bloops, but it's all organized in such catchy and mesmerizing ways. Again, it's so cool how they would make something so beautiful out of something so limited. Due to how simple things were, it was easier to immediately understand what make these games tick. Modern games are so full of cutscenes and 3D eye candy that it can sometimes distract you from the core of the game, which might not be that great. Because of
I guess we gotta use
games has never really died out. Not only
okay.
because less powerful handheld systems kept
Where are the levels like?
jargon alive while the home consoles tried to shove
Jesus Christ!
down our throat, but because
Oh, it's level 41. That's not
art styles,
that
this music,
bad.
these simpler, more get to the chase type.
I feel like
games.
Akihiko is higher than he was
People who think
before.
in high school of better times, some just like this kind of stuff. The problem is most think older games look outdated. And 99% of the time, they would be correct. So to get modern gamers to play the classics, you might just have to
you might help.
have new visuals with all kinds of crazy effects, a fully orchestrated soundtrack, even more content. But like I said, many still value this older style of game. Some want games to be recreated for the modern age. What if we took this modern thing and tried to recreate it using this rock? This is a D-Make. Making a game on worse and older hardware, possibly generations older. It's just making the style of older titles. It's interesting to see how a modern game works when it's met with the limitations of living in 1994. It doesn't. Most D-Makes are fan-made. Makes sense. If Nintendo isn't going to put Smash Bros. On Game Boy, damn it, I'm gonna. One of the most famous examples of this is Halo 2600, a D-Make of Halo for the Atari 2600. Now,
It's hanging dogs.
this is a more completely different game in comparison
For a
to
Mario
Super
moment.
Halo 1.
Oh, it's
Before
cross.
we get up with
Oh yeah, doesn't this like change the look?
we can do the color green.
I think it does by a bit.
Halo's story, characters, and some of the gameplay, and trying to make it work.
I don't know, he just looks a bit
It's
different.
pretty neat to think about how you recontextualize sprite.
Well, at least we now have every single element for physical.
There's actually the version of
Oops. Yeah, now Junpei gets to heal because of the Pissona, which is really funny.
Well, this is far from official. Price released this in 2010, 6 years after he left Microsoft.
Let's see how much Junpei gets.
Microsoft when he made this, it was just a hobby
Oh.
project to attempt to make a Halo
That's
game
one level,
for
okay.
Atari 2600. But it's more
Crispin
than
gets
just
this
any
was
other unofficial
stupid.
game. I think the Atari D-Makes are pretty interesting because I feel like you can make most games conceptually. They would look and play wildly different, but I can totally imagine these consoles can produce high-quality gameplay and stories. Atari is a different beast. You pretty much have to retake a game and turn it into a high school game. But fans have shown loads of talent by making remakes of Super Mario Bros. and Zelda. Mario is pretty impressively close. Zelda has more encounter with the loading screens, but these are fan created. False profit. What about official D-Makes? They aren't the most common, but when they happen, they really double dragon on Atari 2600. Gesundheit. You truly see the power of the D-Make with Atari. I mean, this thing runs on pencil lead. How are you gonna make Donkey Kong Jr. work on Atari? You don't. Now, Atari seems to be the furthest we can go back in terms of D-making, but how much simpler can you get? It's dangerous to ask me worse. So you have Double Dragon on Atari or Double Dragon the LCD handheld game. They're poison. I feel that many would disagree with the notion that these are D-Makes, but if you consider Halo 2600 to be a D-Make, I think these fit the bill. This was the cheap alternative to buying a real man's handheld, the Tiger Electronics LCD the full name and branding of arcade and console games and make calculators out of them. These often are nowhere near replacements for the actual games, rather reinterpretations of the classics that can be displayed in these sticky notes with the screen real estate. And damn it if that isn't a D-game. Tiger games are pretty gross. They take the bare minimum concept of these games and make a high score based, overly simplistic romp that's just an endurance test. Hey, see how long you can use your thumbs. Nintendo had their own LCD games with the Game & Watch brand, and they themselves converted their games over too. These, however, are much more well designed. They're still simplistic, but there's more of an addictive challenge to these compared to what I found in a morgue. And when the game they were demaking for Game & Watch was too complicated for the LCD screens, they would make something entirely new for them, like with Super Mario Brothers and Zelda. The LCD demake is probably as
New
good as
Super
you can
Mario
get,
Brothers.
unless you count charades. So instead of pathetic, let's try for
That face when you
Bizarre,
inspired
my
Bill.
new store. Sega hit it big with the Sega Genesis here in North America, with their previous consoles, the Sega Master System.
Alright, that's exactly
do well here.
it. I guess it's this, Pissona.
Master System was a lasting success in Europe and Brazil. They just loved grid paper and failure. While the console ended in 1992 here in the States, it lived on for years longer in other regions, especially in Brazil, where it has yet to be officially discontinued. Maybe they just forgot. But because of this success, remakes of popular Sega Genesis games were common for the platform. Sonic came over, though so especially for the Master System. Streets of Rage, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, good versions of those games weren't good enough. But the remake I want to focus on here is Street Fighter 2. Yeah, Street Fighter 2 on the Sega Master System, because damn, does that sound good right about now? That hits the spot. Honestly, for a version of Street Fighter 2 on an 8-bit console, it's pretty good. I mean, character moves are missing, so it's not like a full-fledged port. It's not like this is the full Street Fighter 2 experience, just a little worse. As Banana was run over by my car, this simply does the job for Master System owners who wanted Street Fighter 2. Graphically, I think this looks pretty damn good. Audio?
Nice one, dude.
I do enjoy making soundtracks with elevators. For what it's worth, Street Fighter 2 on Master System is fascinating and only released in Brazil in 1997.
If Junpei simply,
because they were
if
duped
simply,
into thinking this was a
wait, why is
Sega
my
Genesis
beats
version
not
of the
moving
game.
out?
The developer then reviewed
Test.
they were playing on the Master
Wow.
System. And they said,
It
wow,
really
this
hates me.
fucking stunk for the Genesis, but for the Master System, this could be worse. It was approved. Well, I'd rather play this than the Game Boy version, which that's only a remake. The portable variant of the game
it
is
straight up
almost
won't
always
move at
better
all.
in every way. But just like Street Fighter on
I have
Master
it on
System,
max
it could be worse.
sensitivity,
I think many
Jesus.
Game Boy remakes are fairly impressive. I mean, DuckTales on this thing is damn close to DuckTales How God Intended. Developers had to choose whether to make a version of the game designed with the Game Boy in mind, or just try to cram funny shit in the car. It's a balancing act. Would it really be easier to make a Lion King game for the NES, or just take the SNES game and downgrade the hell out of it? This looks unnatural. Like, I feel like if I would play this as a kid, I would still think to myself, this feels like a downgraded version of something that already exists. I mean, designing a game from scratch for a system is a lot of work, but it's also really hard to get the Lion King on SNES to run on the NES. You know the old saying. The NES got a few remakes. I'd consider Mighty Final Fight to be one of these. This is a Final Fight game made exclusively for the NES. It's a retelling of the first game's story, so I would consider this a remake. Take that, Senate. However, everything else is really this game's own thing. If you consider Final Fantasy VII Remake to be a remake, give Mighty Final Fight a chance. This is definitely more of a spoof on
Getting
the
close. Getting a God number 3.
For the NES. It was definitely meant to give NES owners a Final Fight experience while also making sure it could stand on its own. So they made it a joke. I'm a proud NES owner. Mighty Final Fight is its own thing. It isn't bogged down by the limitations of the console it's on. Rather,
these
limitations to their advantage while creating this. This is how you do a remake. I think it qualifies as one. That's why we go back to the Game Boy line with Game Boy Color and Advanced remakes. Finally, I can play Grand Theft Auto portably. I never said I was happy with my life. For some reason, developers constantly tried to take these big console experiences, shove them on the GBC. Resident Evil was being worked on. It was canceled.
You fool.
Accomplished? It's impressive.
Absolute buffoon.
I mean, this looks like it's straight up Resident Evil, but what ended up releasing was Resident Evil Gaiden, something more original for the system. You still try to make it a full-fledged
Counter-Strike.
rhythm game combat mechanic to incorporate first-person shooting, which is honestly pretty clever. And of course, GTA 2. I'm sure not many people knew this was a thing. On top of the fact the first game was on here as well, in fact, that worked on the original Game Boy. Items that didn't too small. Absolutely jaw-dropping, but you couldn't pay me to look. These are really not great versions, but just the fact they even resemble a Grand Theft Auto game, I think is enough. Were you really expecting to pop GTA 2 into your Game Boy Color and be enthralled? No, this game was created with the intent of people saying, Grand Theft Auto on Game Boy Color, and nothing more. But thankfully, Grand Theft Auto on Game Boy Advance is another story. And most of the joy from this game comes from the fact I'm gutting people on 2 AA's, but this is a legitimate Grand Theft Auto with concession things. This wouldn't be considered a demake, however. It's really original entry in the franchise.
Whoa.
Now, Pac-Man
Buddy,
World, that
wow,
just got
son.
diagnosed. The Game Boy Advance was filled with multi-platform games that were completely different from handheld to console. I was definitely expecting this to be a 2D platformer based on the PS1 game. Was I ever painfully disappointed? Hey, they took the PS1 game and transformed it into a straight paradise. Is it better this way? Well, it depends on if
How's
you like
Junpei
Dark
not dead?
See, this is the biggest issue with demakes. It feels like you're punching it down. Well, the Game Boy Advance version of Super Sponge isn't as good as the PlayStation one. Well, duh. Of course, we'll make it.
Why did I use Augie, not Aguilar? I'm
It could only be
stupid.
done on the more powerful.
I thought
systems.
Aguilar was a multi-hit. I forgot Junpei, like,
Konami
doesn't
couldn't really
learn
port the first Silent
multi-hits.
Hill to Game Boy Advance, or they could, they just knew it wouldn't be pretty. So they converted it into a visual novel, released only in Japan. While I would have loved to try Silent Hill on Game Boy Advance, we know it would have stuck. Sometimes developers have to make these calls. Should they make the game for lesser hardware or create something more suited for it? Because even if they work on lesser hardware, alongside many others, you're more saying it just exists, not necessarily if it's just as good or better than the source material. However, that can happen sometimes. Dark Void was a game, thanks for asking, one of the most forgettable and generic games from the Xbox 360 PS3 era. Done by Capcom, but it was just so lifeless and lame. Look at
Oh,
this
they don't
cover.
learn
Look
Mirage
at
time
the
for
name.
level
Without the
67.
title,
I
would
thought they were
anybody
level
have done-
66.
Oh, yeah,
What?
that's a Dark Void. It's just an underwhelming third-person shooter that completely got overshadowed by its spin-off on Nintendo DSiWare. Everybody has that more successful cousin. Dark Void Zero isn't necessarily a demake, but it has the spirit of one. The concept here is Dark Void wasn't an original game, it was a reboot or sequel to a lost Capcom NES game. Yeah, I handed to him. He really ran with this idea, even putting a history lesson in the electronic menu, fully giving an excuse as to why it's on a dual-screen handheld, because it was on
Time
a
to get
PlayStation 10
serious.
dual-screen arcade machine.
Took me a second to remember what that was that he kept
In
saying.
fact, originally an NES game. When break out the talk show host, everybody goes, oh shit. On that day, all late night Jimmy Fallon viewers bought Dark Void. The game itself actually gives off a lot of 80s Capcom vibes. Comparing it to the real-life Dark Void, it kind of feels like how Bionic Commando on NES compares to Bionic Commando on Xbox 360. What an insult. The NES style is prime for demake territory. It's an impressive demake for Atari, but demaking a modern game for NES might be playable. Namco demade Pac-Man Champions Edition, turning it into something worthy of being on an NES cartridge.
Strike?
It's included in Namco Museum Archives Volume 1, and Jesus Christ, it might just be
Okay.
better than the original. To be
Junpei,
fair,
get their
the
ass.
Pac-Man Championship Edition
Or-
is good,
wait,
but it's
wait, he uses slash too, never mind. I thought he uses
Edition
bash for
DX
some
and 2
reason.
That it's really hard for me to go back to it.
Wait.
Championship Edition on NES oddly feels fresher, even though
The
it
only
looks
one
faster.
who uses bash
It's
is
so
Akihiko.
addictive, and I think having this gameplay more
Because
than
Hikari,
games
I
is making
guess,
me feel
can
faster.
use Pierce.
It legitimately feels like its own experience, and honestly, if
We
I had to choose
use-
between the two versions, I'm going NES.
Oh,
Retro City
slash,
Rampage
Junpei
originally
uses
started development
slash,
as
Poor
an
Mario
NES
for
remake
some
of
reason
Grand
uses
Theft Auto.
slash,
It's
even
a
though I feel like he
completely
should totally be
While
bash.
it's obviously inspired by GTA and NES games, the final release is more than that. It's not GTA, and it couldn't run on a NES. But you could still look at it
I guess
as a
Shindro might
spiritual
use
remake.
bash, but
The
he's
developer
fucking
made sure
dead.
you didn't have to look far for the actual one. Included in the Wii release is ROM City Rampage, a version of the game that runs on NES. Plus, they made a version for MS-DOS on a floppy disk. These people scare me. These are the fun D-makes. They bring games to garbage hardware because... Now, downgraded ports, you could totally consider demakes. Doom on Nintendo Switch? Well, they technically did remake it. But that's not really too fun to discuss. Like, here's Rayman Origins on Xbox 360. Now on Wii. Now on 3DS. How did they do it? They must have found the Gaussian blur effect. But the demaking spirit of going far back is still alive and well. Fans do it all the time. Final Fantasy VII on NES, Super Smash Land on Game Boy, but Nintendo does it. Their prototype for Breath of the Wild was an NES game. They made Breath of the Wild for NES, and they made
Yo.
Breath of the Wild. This is just a I mean,
Let's
they're super guilty of
go.
remakes in general. Remember the great Nintendo 3DS Wii U ports of 2016 and 17? Yes, Hyrule Warriors Legends. It runs. This is disgusting. I have no idea how anybody played this game legitimately on 3DS. Of course, it runs better on new 3DS models, but someone molasses doesn't make it fast. I don't care. To me, this game just doesn't belong here. This gives off
Gosh,
Lion King
man.
NES vibes. Just a sense of this
Resist
not belonging.
fire.
Everything feels off. Super Mario Maker for Nintendo 3DS, I think feels more justified, and it's still pointless. That's an insult to Mario Maker and an even bigger one to Hyrule Warriors.
Sure.
You can never upload stages with this version. You can only play
Ooh,
stages
escape
that are
route.
uploaded from the Wii U version.
Escape
At the
route.
very least, if they let you transfer stages
Oh my
right
god,
to
is the VTuber
Wii U
still
to
not
then
working?
upload?
Is it just
No,
because
it'd
I'm
still be
needing that?
stupid, but at least there would be a way.
No, it still
here-
works.
there's no point to
Hello.
any of this, though. It's still very
follows
fun to
the
see this
mouse.
game
It's
run
not
on
just
3DS.
frozen.
I just love how they had to downgrade New Super Mario Bros. U from the Wii U to this platform when New Super Mario Bros. U was on it and looked
Test.
fine, they could have used these assets.
Oh, it's
no,
because it's using voice
it
mod
doesn't
and
look
that's
fine
not
enough. The
on.
new Super Mario Bros. U art style on 3DS is amazingly pixelated, and it's funny because this is the art style they chose to represent on the box. Wabuchi and Yoshi's Woolly World is
Funny
a
if I turn it
great
up, it just gets my
conversion.
fan.
It looks and plays great, and I find it very charming how they converted the 3D world map into a 2D one. While the 3D map is cooler on the Wii U version, the 2D one on 3DS just flat out makes more sense. This is a 2D platformer after all.
Yes.
Regardless of if these are good versions of the games, D-makes are amazing.
-2 is
They may
actually
not
pretty
be
good.
more fun to play, they may just be putrid, but they're just so damn interesting to analyze.
Wow,
Every last
my
one of them.
Pissona
See
has
how
a
a
new
game as
ability.
massive as Breath of the Wild
I
would
can
work
now
on
bring you
NES,
back
or
to the
just
entrance
seeing Hyrule
instantly.
Warriors do something
And so that's the ability you'll ever get.
in a
Inside
different way than the
Tartarus.
norm. And these D-makes help
Yeah, if you use it outside of battle, what would
Without all those
happen?
Fancy 3D graphics, most of these games still hold up.
You get put
In
into
some
her
cases,
mom's
they even
house,
better
'cause
than
that's the
bogged down
entrance.
cutscenes and loading screens. And it gave us a chance to play Rayman Arena on the PlayStation 1. Yeah, this is weird. So Rayman Rush is a remake of Rayman Arena for PS1. It removes modes and focuses on this racing game. That's it. But even though it released after Arena came out in Europe, it released before Arena did in North America. So if you live in Ohio, is this a demo or is Rayman Arena a remake? What about Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition? This is a remake of Final Fantasy 15 for mobile phones. It uses a cutesy new art style and is played from a top-down perspective, but it follows a shortened take on the same story. I mean, they just oversimplified so much here. As a mobile game, it really likes it when you win, and the game just feels kind of mindless to me. And at this point, you're better off just watching Final Fantasy 15 cutscenes on your phone.
You know, I
But the
originally
remake,
used Aigis a lot just because I
Final
figured,
Fantasy
hey,
15 Pocket
she's
Edition HD.
pretty important,
You
but
can
like
finally
she doesn't
play this
get
on
much
Xbox
story.
Or play Final Fantasy 15, your choice. To be fair, there's merit to both of these games. A lot of people didn't like Final Fantasy 15.
So I figured she wouldn't
we
be
got
like
Pocket
Shinjiro or
Edition, like Pocket Edition,
who
so
else?
it's
Ken,
your
I
preference.
guess.
Except on Nintendo Switch, where this is the only Final Fantasy 15 you've got.
Or maybe Junpei. Like when they just randomly disappear. Because they always want to be by your side. But apparently not. Just I guess this be like level up noises.
There are 3 of them. Strike first. Last one.
Hey y'all, Scott here. You know, the world's a much better place without things. Equity is the worst. I don't want the responsibilities that come with owning a door, but I sure do miss the perks of it. So I bought just a doorknob to put on my shelf. May not do much, but it reminds me what it's like to have purpose.
There are 2
I
of
like
them.
boxes, I got nothing better to do. But they are my only hobby. I also love physical games.
Enemy left. Not bad.
Physical video games are hard to make. This is the best I could do. Which is why they've always been and will always be special. If you officially release a game on a video game console on a disc or cartridge, it feels like you've made it. They don't just let anybody do that sometimes. We live in a digital age now. It's uncool to hold things. But for those with a soul, physical media is still out there. And the digital age is physical games are special. You're telling me when that game publisher
That was stupid. Why did they do that?
to call it a day, they went to all the trouble of making it last. Obviously, digital is more convenient and the way of the future, but I think this still has enough advantages over it where it's hard for it to completely take over, especially with games.
Yeah, he only learns one foe. Okay, except for party. Yeah.
Concept that they sell you a game console to keep you buying games for at Target. They said put up, yeah, they sell digital codes in the stores, but I don't really get it. You don't get download cards like this. They don't have the codes on the cards themselves. They print them on your receipt. So if you get a download card as a gift for somebody, you have to include these codes, which is frankly just clunky paper use. That's the only scenario these make sense in as gifts. Because if you have a gift card to a store and want a digital code, you're not going to buy an eShop card. Well, that's another reason physical makes sense. Gifts. This is way more fun to open this as a gift compared to this. Codes just aren't exciting. Couple that with the fact that going digital only means you're going to fill up your console storage capacity faster than if you have a second.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Takes a while. It requires internet, a lot of storage space.
Kill him.
You can eventually buy a physical game. But going away from the shop, that's a storage itself. Downloading a game, I still call, and that's just embarrassing. However, it is a lot more convenient. Constantly faster and more enticing. Back on the Wii U, oh, I didn't know all this. Digital has its advantages, like a vasectomy. But games are are so large, they take forever to download. You kind of almost need a physical option. Not like movies or music. These things can be hundreds of gigabytes in size, and they're too
There are too
complicated
many.
to stream as easily as other mediums. Plus, digital games, they can get yourself online. They're a goner. The physical, these issues aren't nearly as prevalent, or they're completely non-existent. But man, printing those physical games can cost a lot for a company, especially compared to just putting it out.
We don't talk about that.
You have to be fairly confident the physical copy will sell well more than release like this.
There are too many. Last one.
Putting the disc or cartridge. So, you don't want to take the risks of releasing a physical game, but still want a presence at retail and satiate customers who want something physical.
A monkey
Nobody
lie.
wins, except for the cheap alternative to releasing physical games. It's what I call a digital-only physical game. It comes in a box, you get artwork, console branding, the whole 9 yards. Everything you'd expect from a physical release, except the physical release. Instead of a disc or cartridge, you get a download code, because I really needed 16 more characters in my life. Once you redeem the download code, why do I own this?
This is pointless. It's like the companies that are releasing these things are going, oh, well, this is good enough. People who want physical versions of our games, they're too fucking stupid to realize besides, all they want is the box anyways. Yeah, maybe a dumb bitch who overly values box. I get overjoyed when there's a random blank piece of paper included in the box. But you see, I may enjoy the box. There's nothing inside the box. What's there to enjoy about the box? Yeah!
This is one of the stupidest trends of modern gaming, and this isn't only like a 3-game deal or something. I didn't see one game do this and start proclaiming the truth. No, look at all these! It's more than 3! The first game I can recall doing this was DuckTales Remastered. It was only at launch.
There are 3 enemies.
Box
Be careful.
version only on PS3, and it didn't even come with a disc. You got an exclusive pin and a cardboard disc. Why am I saying this is a weird release considering this digital copy only box is exclusive to PlayStation 3?
Come on, get their ass. Easy Junpei win.
Come with a disc exclusive to one console is beyond me. I will say though, at least putting a cardboard disc in here, that's kind of cute. The pen originally came on it, though I think it would have made more sense if the digital code was printed on it. That way, I mean. But I think what makes this release is the fact that it did get a physical disc release, and they announced it a month after the game released digitally. It's all platforms too, and the box is basically the same as the original only copy. I guess Capcom wasn't optimistic about the game's potential sales, and then immediately afterwards they went fucking oops. But if you weren't optimistic about the sales, why even do the digital only physical to begin with? Like really, if you were worried that the game wasn't going to sell well at retail, why would you release a pointless box copy that has less value than a standard release?
There are 2 enemies.
Nintendo did a similar thing with Mario vs. Donkey Kong Country Stars. Those bastards! This game released simultaneously on Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. Saying this is their big cross-buy experience. The only on Nintendo platform you have the luxury of buying Super Mario Bros. 9 times. Over on the
He said something about,
PlayStation
dude, we gotta pull it together. Wow.
console, games you buy once and you can play on your PS3 and PS4.
Oh, does he not say who's the man
Sometimes
anymore?
they weren't even
That's
legacy
shit.
titles, but damn it, I chose to buy Clue Land twice. It's just odd that Nintendo had 2 systems getting NES and SNES games released on them at the same time, both on storefronts called the Nintendo eShop, yet buying Mario 3 on Wii U meant you still had to buy Mario 3 on 3DS. There's Mario vs. Donkey Kong
There's
game
one enemy.
across both systems. If you bought one version,
He paid mad
the
money.
other. Even though this was a modern idea, it still had that classic Nintendo stank. You'd expect to just buy it on Wii U.
That a leotard? Is that better or like way worse?
But no, they love these download codes so much
Oh.
they decided to celebrate them with a box copy. Over in Europe, digital-only physical copies are released for both Wii U and 3DS.
Huh.
What a waste! So these boxes just contain a download code for said system. Then after redeeming
when did I
said
get
download code,
battle
you get a download
panties
code for the other
like
system.
twice? I
But
don't.
why not just have both
Okay.
download codes in the box? That way you could just
Oh,
release
yeah,
the
that
3DS
happens.
case with the download code, Wii U case with the download codes. Not both. Instead, they released both Wii U and 3DS versions of the digital-only boxes, where both basically contained the same 2 games. Even though the Wii U
They go
case
weird
is
just
the
to give me
only
+4
plastic
magic, and that's
space.
pretty good.
Not only is that a way of doing that,
I mean, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. It could have +2.
Japan was apparently the one market Nintendo felt confident releasing physical copies. In America, and digitally, so they thought there was not a single American who wants to feel this thing. And Europe? Well, let's just assume they fucking hate Europe. If they just didn't print physical copies in general, I would understand. But they went to the trouble of printing discs and cartridges in Japan. But Europe, they felt confident enough to use game boxes, print cover art, create all these download
Parmesan.
them out on trucks, take up shelf space in stores.
That's actually pretty
and not
good.
print the game on cartridges.
Too far.
During this generation, a hot trend was episodic releases of games, presented by Telltale. You just put out the first episode of a game, then finish it throughout the year. Of course, they wanted a retail presence, so usually around the time the first episodes of their game released, a physical copy came out as well. These confused me at the time. They didn't say episode 1 or anything, it was just, yeah, the game, the full series. I see these in the store and think, isn't this game ongoing? Isn't it not finished yet? But in fine print, it's
One
clarified,
shadow.
this is
Ooh.
a season
This will be
pass.
easy.
Well, it is a physical game. This one
I
includes
say.
the first episode and grants you access to download the rest of the episodes as they become available. I think what annoys me about releases like this is, what's the point of a physical release when you have to download so much of it? Like, yeah, it's
I say.
unphysical.
Okay, I actually don't remember this one being that hard, but still.
You have to download 4.
I mean, I don't remember this one at all, but still.
There's a lot of hard drive space that's taken up by the
Phantom
game.
Mage.
You still have to
Not
get up
Phantom
with the
Mage.
disc.
Just a mage.
At that
It's
point,
a
it's taking up
hermit,
that
it's
much
the
storage
hermit.
space. Why
This
not
will
just
be a
download the
top
whole game?
battle.
Yes, because
I
it's Arcana as the
feel
Hermit,
like
it's gonna be
download
tough
codes would make
automatically.
more sense for games like these. They're not finished yet. But no, they did releases like this to almost fool people walking through a GameStop into going, wow, a new Batman game? And they buy this not reading the fact that it's only 1/5 of the game, or if it's after the game finished, only 1/5 of the game is on the disc, and they have to download the
Phantom
rest.
King.
Because
Give
with
me a sec.
digital
I'll
only
scan
If they made it a
content,
Phantom
they have to
Thief,
make
then,
sure you know what
Pistona
they're
5.
getting into. What if you don't have internet but love buying Lara Croft in the Temple of Osiris? There's gotta be somebody else. There's Square Enix decide, oh, this game is good.
Your
for
done
game
works.
boxes,
Good to know.
but not this. Of course, this is
Oh, they're screwed now.
There's gotta be more expensive so that you didn't want to invest in printing discs for this game. Because while that is a fair reason, it's pretty expensive to do that. Seeing the hundreds of games that get physical releases that really don't deserve anything more than a face made about it. Even by Square Enix itself, why does something like this warrant a disc?
Shipping is the button.
Is there some kind of totem pole of deservedness where the Temple of the Silence reaches and not worth nothing else here? You obviously believe this game would sell in a retail environment by releasing this, so why do this? I like to make releases more enticing with bonuses, like posters, and all that. But that makes me question it
I
even
guess I would
more.
Tarakaja.
You're willing to do all this but not print a disc? The Sonic Mania Collector's Edition. Jesus.
It's gonna be sick.
This thing is in fact huge. With a Sonic statue, a fake Genesis card, with a ring inside a metallic card, and a download card.
You failed, buddy.
All of this! And no disc, no game card, no case. This is a big collector's edition, and it wasn't like exclusive to Sega's online shop or anything, not exclusive to a single platform like DuckTales. No, I saw Xbox One versions of these things rotting in Best Buys. That is a problem you wouldn't have if you just did a regular release! Now, Sonic Mania did get a physical version 1 year later, which makes this release a whole lot sooner. This nice collector's edition, the additional points, so you could make the argument like this double dip.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You got the dog.
Only download them. Then we'll do a physical release afterwards. A lot of studios do this. This release happens after the digital.
You literally just spam them.
But you buy the digital, then the physical release. You bought the digital version, just can't help themselves. There needs to be a hotline for this kind of thing.
It's fair. It's a smart business practice. It might not be the most ethical in the world, but hey, I fall for it every time, and I know exactly what they're doing. But I fall for it. Which means I'm a bitch. Pretty much with all these, I see no point in them. I feel like they're
Oh, you dumb dog.
Especially the mini Xbox One download code boxes. Little keyring-sized plastic boxes containing nothing but a download code and will eventually be the main source of ocean pollution. They are the cutest possible way to kill a seal. But I've saved the most notorious example for last. Ladies and gentlemen,
I summon you.
the horror.
It's the last half bundle.
Switch is a leader of bullshit in this category.
Use
Having such
Patra or
proprietary
May
game
Patra
cards
on Junpei-kun.
games physically
No.
is a challenge for developers and publishers. These little guys cost more to produce than regular Blu-ray discs. The cost increases as the game file size is bigger. I mean, they got 1 gigabyte cards, 2 gigabyte, 4, 8, 16, 32 is pretty much the max. That is incredibly crazy. The problem is, game sizes right now, how much is that in square feet? A lot of games just straight up won't fit on a Switch card. It's possible once. So that's why many games are just flat out digital only on the Switch. Retail presence. Some publishers can't help themselves. Enter Capcom. Mega Man Lazy Collection. same day. Both are separate releases. Both got physical copies on other platforms. The Switch was to come to a similar fate. I'm still pissed. Capcom decided to bundle both games together for a physical release. For doing that, only Legacy Collection 1 was on the cart, 2 was yet to download. What made it worse is that this little bastard was forcing the players to Jack Vader. Stop saying don't buy
This guy's
me!
hardly
This
ever
was the box
attacked me
art that was
once.
shown off when the bundle was first announced. Thankfully, the official release got rid of it, only containing the glove on the bottom. It's still pretty lame. It's
Oh, he is doing good though, because Tim's my healer. If he doesn't do this,
They're Mega Man games.
good.
Calories. Collection 1 is under 4 megabytes inside, being around 3.2 gigabytes. It would have fit both on a 4 gigabyte card. Why do that when you can cheap out with the 1 gig? Also, thanks Capcom for forcing me to download the bigger game. Thanks with releases like this where some of the game has to be downloaded, you can make the argument. This way I'm saving some space. Yeah, at this point you might as well just download both games. They might have also not put them both on the same cartridge, considering they are technically 2 separate games. Nintendo updated the Switch later down the line to allow physical games to include multiple games in one, so when you insert the card, all the games pop up on the home screen. So if this released later,
Kill him, Junpei.
back in 2016, if they wanted both
Oh, come on, Junpei. Megiddo! Okay, Junpei got what he deserved, to be fair. Anyways, die.
No, this is stupid. Let's do that. At least Mega Man didn't get the Resident Evil treatment. Okay, first off, Resident Evil Revelations Collection.
Never mind, Junpei did not get what he deserved.
Oh yeah, we got tons of games. Revelations 2. But this is all at the same time. The first game's on the card, second game you have to download.
Forgot he
Of course
needs
it's the
EXP.
bigger one. 26 fucking gigabytes. On Capcom, if you're gonna do this,
Junpei,
just have Revelations 2
kill him.
be the one on the card. Leave him alone. Put it on a Switch without a micro SD card. If Revelations 1 was the download, that's at least only.
What did he
around
even
12
say?
gigabytes. Just throw
Also, he
it
didn't
all
even level
here.
up? What?
This box looks great.
That's a lot of
We
EXP
do
for
have
him.
a giant white banner disclaimer. I understand this for retail, but
Soma.
sticker would do.
That's
This
just-
is always here, even after I buy it.
It's like all we ever get, which I guess is fair, because like, you can't buy them
Are games that have already gone
or get them like any other way.
Download code have never been on
Uh-oh, tables. I hate tables. Oh, they make the Slash, they're screwed.
You know what? Mega Man Legacy Collection 1
V, the
released
party
on
members
3DS
have Slash,
physically.
wow.
Let's give Legacy Collection 2 some
I
time
hope
to
those
download
Black
the
Knight
big one.
things, the Hell Knights, are gone. Ooh, Blade of Fear.
These games separately. They pulled the exact same
Double
shtick for the games
Fangs.
in each of these series.
I don't know which is
Mega
better,
Man
but probably
Legacy
Blade of Fear.
Plus 2.
What does that do? Better do heavy.
Origins Collection, Resident Evil 0, the prequels on the card, with Resident Evil Remake being the download. So I guess instead of doing the first game like with the other releases this time, they did the first game. Resident Evil Triple Pack, Resident Evil 4, 5,
Oh, medium slash to all. That's good. It's a multi-hit, finally. Oh, that's funny. He doesn't get any multi-hits until his Pissona evolves.
Box art that looks like a second chip. The download codes do last a while. Roughly 800 years, give or take. Good, anything less than 600 will be flipped. You've got the games that require download portions on the card. LA Noire was like this, and just said, I'm gonna download the whole thing. I'm gonna have to download a good chunk of it, and no matter what's required. I don't save a ton of space on my system, and I still have to grab the game and put it in my Switch. Mortal Kombat 11 did this too, but other than that, I only played basic versus battles. However, this kind of main attraction is a game that released on PS4 Network 1 the exact day. Download requirements especially tolerable. Only re-released Mortal Kombat 11 with the DLC included and got rid of the game card. Like, what? Why not just have the game card from the original release, plus the download codes for the DLC? Now I need to have 32 gigabytes of free space. If my Nintendo Switch did a similar thing like with the original download a portion of the game, but it was the online multiplayer, which just makes perfect sense. Everybody was buying it for the multiplayer. A lot of what makes these physical releases basically preserved when they put out like this. Doom's online multiplayer is the internet.
I'm gonna share
It's
this.
gonna be alive forever regardless if it's included on the card. Putting the single player there and having the multiplayer downloadable, that makes total sense. Releasing a box version of Fortnite does not. Apex Legends, why buy for free when buying for $30 is an option? These games are too popular for them to not release them at retail, but by doing basically just online multiplayer and a
Oh, we can make them now.
there's no point to putting them on a card.
Fuckers.
So, they stuff these games fresh with download codes for some in-game purchases. I guess that's an incentive. If these purchases are enticing you, you're probably already playing the game extensively. I feel like these releases appeal to people that have never played the games before. So what does legendary weapon skin mean to them? Overwatch got this treatment with a 3 3-month Switch Online membership. Wow, what is that, like $4? Then we got Wolfenstein Youngblood and Call of Juarez. They just didn't want
Game
to
looks
do it.
like quick.
For some reason, they both have different headers, which I will reiterate, these headers make me feel like a f***ing idiot.
Missing
Please keep
people.
an eye on Cancun. He's hurt.
Oh no, he's hurt.
Cancun's hurt. Keep an eye
Youngblood,
on
I
him.
kind of get. This
Ah,
is a standalone
203F?
expansion of Wolfenstein 2, a game that already required a download.
Oh, and I can't even get that today. I'm stupid. I knew that would happen, huh?
Plus, it's 21 gigabytes. I'm not defending them doing this release.
I guess I'll just beat the last boss.
Nothing more would be perfectly fine. Call of Juarez requires 4 gigabytes.
Wait a minute, when is the next boss?
When even Nintendo does it. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit comes in this giant box, no game card.
Oh, there's 5 bosses. Okay.
Hey, just look it up. Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and
Please
Blade
keep
of
an
Light.
eye on
They gave it
Cancun.
this
He's hurt.
amazing collector's edition, only to have a download code. This
Oh wow, they're just 2 floors after. Okay.
and Mario Kart to some extent. That game uses Wi-Fi Switch. It might
There are
not
3
function
enemies.
years
Be
down the
careful.
line anyway. But Fire Emblem, I may sound like a broken record.
Cancun,
But
he's
you're
doing so
willing
well.
to do all of this, but not this.
It's expensive. I understand why not everything is the release, but I just don't understand why some releases are treated like this. Especially if the packaging is huge and they include all these other goodies, or if the game is smaller than the other cartridge.
You dumbass. Why make your attacks more powerful?
Hot dog buns, and they just came with a rain check for buns. Dude, that just sounds fucking loony.
There are 2 enemies. Give me a sec. I'll scan the chart. It's weak again. Give me a sec. I'll scan the chart.
What I am doing today is I am
Oh,
going to play
no.
Pokemon Emerald, and I am never going to use.
That's not Scott the Woz.
Joy!
Hey y'all, Scott here. It's been 4 years since I felt joy. The Nintendo Switch has worn me out so much each and every one of its birth months.
Jesus
I can't look at a
Christ!
game called Snipperclips the same ever again. I'm ruined.
Okay,
Why is the Nintendo Switch
though I gotta
not
get used to
exciting
that,
anymore?
but-
Why is the way I am the
Because
way I am?
the
Why does
enemies
this
on the
have a
next
bitter
block.
aftertaste?
Alright, Scott, you done?
Oh, that explains 2 things.
The Nintendo Switch is officially negative 1 year away. 3. 4 whole years of device that can play flip.
I got used to this because I know the enemies on the next floors do this a lot. But they can't use magic on them unless it's light. Dark Shade propels, but they are weak to this. Uh-huh.
February 2021, and when I say everything, I don't mean it. This is primarily based on what I played, what I experienced, everything through my eyes, so you know what that means. Alright, let's start talking Nintendo Switch, March 2020 to February 2021. Which month are we starting on? Well, it began.
There are 3 enemies left.
March was a month of pure Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which means for free DLC, I only have 2 games. Of course, the only thing that mattered was
I'm gonna turn the game down just so you can actually hear Scott.
Horizons on March. After 100 hours, I got bored.
Defeated an enemy.
I think New Horizons is great. When I fell off of it, I really for 2 months. I stopped playing for 1 day, then my eye twitched whenever I thought about playing again. See, the game starts off wonderfully. You take part in Tom Nook's
Oh
getaway
yeah,
package,
you're talking about how bad New Horizons is.
Fucking disgusting. But you start bringing
Ooh, that was a
pick where you're
good
supposed to
amount.
go up there and pay up your dig by making money through various means.
Selling
Selling rocks, every day's an adventure.
What about me?
Animal Crossing is a game about life and collecting. You're supposed to take the game at your own pace and do whatever you want, but just like life, you have lots of limitations. And I think those limitations are what makes Animal Crossing so unique. If you could legitimately do whatever you want in this game, it would just be The Sims. In Animal Crossing, you need those little annoyances, those neighbors you don't like, the fact it takes so long to pay off your house, how you have to talk to characters to get anywhere. Yeah, this isn't great, but it's Animal Crossing. They want to bring you to their world, not show you a debug menu when you want to travel to a different island. It takes time to make your island the island you want it to be, and in my opinion, that makes Animal Crossing Animal Crossing. Collecting fish and bugs and fossils is a lot of fun, donating them to the museum and seeing everything fill out, making friends with digital goats. It's hard to describe Animal Crossing and make it sound fun, because It's not. But I think the idea of collecting all these different items and constantly working towards something makes it a rewarding and addictive experience. This is my town. I built it this way, and it's just as optimistically pathetic as I always wanted it to be. Now, this is all nothing new when it comes to Animal Crossing. This is par for the course. New Horizons is set up slightly differently. It's more focused on grinding. You need to take this island and build it up to what you want it to be rather than showing up to a town that already exists and settling down there like in previous entries. You have to really make the most out of your surroundings and constantly pick up supplies and materials to craft items, which is a new mechanic. You have all these DIY recipes you can collect, which then tells you the quantity of what materials you need to craft new items. It's kind of a cute idea, but the way it's implemented more so annoys me now. Whenever a character would give me a special thing and it turned out to be a DIY recipe, that
Probably.
stung. I think I'd rather have all the recipes
yeah,
available to me from the
I
get-go
know.
rather than having to unlock most of them. What's the fun in getting a recipe card? Oh, thanks for this pile of work you just gave me to do. Now I have to find all the materials needed for the item if I want it. Crafting's a fine idea as it gives a huge purpose to nearly every minor little thing you pick up in the game. I just feel like it's implemented in a way that almost makes me resent it. Because on top of that, your tools, axe, net, fishing pole, these can all break after a certain amount of time due to the crafting mechanic. They want you to keep crafting stuff, so let's force you to constantly craft new equipment due to your equipment breaking all the time. This is just annoying. It's not like in Breath of the Wild when your weapons break. That makes sense. It's to force you to improvise and constantly try new weapons. Here, it's just to waste my time to get me to use some new gimmick, which I honestly barely use. If my axe breaks, I'm just gonna go whatever. I'd rather go to the store and buy a new one rather than gather materials to craft one for free. There's a Nook Miles program at play here, which gives you points in exchange for certain items by doing whatever. If you collect a certain amount of fruit or sell a certain amount of items, you get Nook Miles, and I love this addition. It gives purpose and incentive to the smallest things you do, which in Animal Crossing involves a lot of smallest things. The well does run dry after a while, though. Nook Miles are a lot more fun at the start of the game as you're constantly making progress, and it's super satisfying. As time goes on, though, you unlock less and less. Now, they've been updating
Counter
this game
be
a
like
ton since
no
it
noises.
launched. Content, new items, new things to do. Oh my god, Nintendo, stop doing this. Come on, Nintendo, just do what the 23-year-old white boy said. I'm not a fan of how Nintendo will launch a game with minimal content just to end up releasing free updates to reach the quota of what's acceptable. Mario Tennis Aces, Kirby Star Allies, ARMS, Splatoon 1, and Splatoon 2. All these games released with, honestly, not enough content, so they basically hide the fact they're finishing the game by saying, you're getting free updates.
Holy shit, that's a steal. I'll buy 9 copies.
New Horizons launched with a fair amount of content, but so much was missing. Compare New Horizons to New Leaf on the 3DS, and it's crazy how much stuff New Leaf had in comparison to
Shut up.
And then they acted like adding deep sea diving and the ability to visit others' islands via the Dream Suite to the game in July was like, wow, we're really putting the cherry on the top of this complete sundae. First off, no, these are features that were there since day one in New Leaf, and pretty much all of these updates Nintendo was doing to New Horizons was adding
Yeah, you
back
have to
stuff
play the
that's been
game
in
for like
Animal
a
Crossing
month
before.
to get
No
them.
new stuff. Secondly, I
Obviously
fell off of New
exaggerating, but
Horizons in
still, it
early
takes a
June,
while
and
just to get the
it's
game
really
through.
hard to go back,
I still haven't even
especially
gotten the
updates.
fortune telling
You'd think
thing.
the updates would incentivize me, but no. Honestly, I'm terrified of opening this game. They've added so much, I'm worried about missing something they added or being overwhelmed with how much they added. But my main problem with these free update games,
I'd
when
rather
I'm done
be
with the game,
overwhelmed with
it's
how much they add than
really hard
not
to pull me back in. Cool,
add
Mario
anything
Tennis
at all.
Aces got new characters. It's makes my stop playing. You turned me off by not having this stuff at launch, but by the time it shows up in the game, I don't care anymore. I'm sorry. By June, I would open up Animal Crossing. Isabel would give me the news for the day, and pretty much every day she'd say, oh, looks like nothing's really going on. I started seeing a lot of repeated stuff, hearing the same things over and over again from my villagers. Nothing new was happening. It was time to call it quits. After 100+ hours, I got my fill. I know I just complained
Haha,
about
imagine
this
only
game,
having
but
100 hours in
I
New
obviously
Leaf. This
enjoyed it. I
posted
just wish I
New
could keep
Horizons. This
enjoying
post
it.
was made
All
by
those things kind of added up to why I stopped playing.
But I really like New Horizons. Don't take my criticisms as it's a mediocre or bad game or something. No, it's a good one. It's just when you really care about something, you want to see it be the best it can be. Plus, I think Animal Crossing fans all hate Animal Crossing to some extent.
Had a great time with New Horizons. Don't care for how they're doing updates. Holy this game is pretty. You know, a week before New Horizons launched, a special edition Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch released. Thank God it didn't come with the game. That would be a deal. The other physical release Nintendo had this month was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team
1,310
DX.
hours.
What do you think I think? I'm a simple man. If I see a Pokemon, I'm going to squint. This is a remake of the Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS game, the first entry in the series. I don't see anybody outside of existing fans really getting much out of this. The art style's cute, I just can't get into this gameplay. They modernized this game, and at the same time, they really didn't. This is a $60 2020 release. I ordered it on Amazon, and they sent me a European copy. Do I look French? No. you on hold. Can't forget about the Luigi's Mansion 3 DLC because the census sure did. This was such an odd release. Like, who asked for this? Costumes for the online multiplayer and new multiplayer minigames to play. Cool. But it's like everybody who bought Luigi's Mansion 3 bought it for the single player. Why not try to add a story expansion or something? Just an odd thing to release.
Ooh, I haven't launched the next level.
Outside of that, Doom 64 released, but nobody noticed. Luigi's Mansion 3 got DLC. It was supposed to be a pre-order bonus you got with Doom Eternal, but since the Nintendo Switch release got delayed, while the other platforms got both games at once, Switch owners just got Doom 64 on launch day. It's alright though. It launched on the same day as New Horizons. I had enough on my plate. It was only 5 bones and was a pretty solid re-release of the Nintendo 64 original. I like that these companies are really digging deep into their archives to re-release random little oddities. Like, did anybody really look at the Nintendo Switch in 2017 and say, can't wait till Doom 64 is on it? Cooking Mama Cookstar released at the end of the month, just to be taken off the eShop immediately for not having the rights to use the Cooking Mama brand.
You need rights?
So many rumors floated around about this one, how it mines bitcoins, steals your credit card info, could ruin your Switch. Of course, had to buy one. None of them were true, but they definitely added to the physical copies of this game being expensive for a second there. And the worst part about it is, it isn't that good. It's exactly what I expected it to be, a motion-controlled cooking arcade game like most of the other Cooking Mamas. It's not great, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as it was said. That's right, I'm brave enough to stick up for Cooking Mama Cookstar. They should draft. Even though this month has already been pretty busy in terms of new releases, it was oddly quiet on the news front, and it has been for the year up until this point. I mean, there hadn't been a full-blown Nintendo
Another
Direct
Jotun,
since
Jesus.
and you really didn't know what Nintendo's lineup looked like after Animal Crossing. Well, thank God that all changed on March 26th with a Nintendo Direct Mini.
Oh, it looks like we have a hearty dose of real-world issues affecting pretty much everybody's ability to work starting in March of 2020.
What are these? They're
People
Hermit.
working remotely
But
from
still,
home
what are they?
definitely affected plans for the year. I just went outside and realized that.
Oh my God.
Because of such a thing, I think it's fair to lower expectations just a bit, as so many things prevented this year from being everything these games
Augie. Okay,
of course,
good.
A
They're
lot
fucked
of
to
big
cert.
features there has in 2020, so I will be referring to all of them each instance they get brought up. First up is Jaundice.
Because of Jaundice, Nintendo had to settle for putting together a Nintendo Direct Mini in March, but I still found their silence on games after Animal Crossing puzzling. Many pointed out that because of the lupus, they weren't able to discuss new games, but they've been pretty quiet since September, when that wasn't a worldwide issue. I also don't really care for their info delivery style of, we're only focusing on Animal Crossing until Animal Crossing is out, because let's be honest, Animal Crossing is mega popular, but it isn't everybody's cup of tea. Would it have really killed them to at least give Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition a release date beforehand just to give fans of other things something to chew on? Instead, Nintendo was only talking about Animal Crossing, whether you were an Animal Crossing fan or not. I'm not gonna act like it didn't work, it just makes things a bit less interesting as a fan. Well, this Nintendo Direct Mini was uploaded just under a week after New Horizons release, and detailed Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition coming on May 29th, XCOM 2, Bioshock, and Borderlands Collection coming on that same day, Shinsekai Into the Depths by Capcom releasing right alongside the Direct, which was an iPhone game beforehand. Cool. I understand mobile games can be hugely detailed and legitimate experiences, but if it used to be a mobile game and it's coming to Switch, that does knock it down a few pegs for me. A Nintendo published game released after the Direct, though. Good job. I really like the amount of smaller eShop games Nintendo would release
job.
on the Nintendo 3DS. I wish to see more of that
Grease,
kind of
good
junk come
job.
to the Nintendo Switch. We got snipper clips, which was wonderful, but after that, oh, Flip Wars, the Stretchers. Name 4 people who care.
Oh,
Their
the
job is to initiate
Stretchers!
puzzle games. You have jobs to do, and you have to manipulate the environment to get them done. It's really cute and pretty fun. I think it was very quickly forgotten about, though, and honestly, I kind of get it. I don't know why, but this game feels super similar to countless other games. It's co-op, so it kind of feels like a lot of
Let's
other wacky
go.
couch co-op games like Moving Out or Overcooked. It's 100% its own thing, but it
Okay,
kind of
says
blends in a
normal
bit.
attack
Catherine Full
damage
Body got
using
announced by Atlas
weapons.
after everybody asked them to bring over Persona 5. Ring Fit Adventure got an update, adding a rhythm game mode. The next Smash Brothers fighter was announced to be announced. A fighter from ARMS! Okay, we'll find out who it is in June. I'll be damned. You saved us all from immediate disappointment. I'm super okay with an ARMS character being announced. I love the character designs, and as much as third-party characters are fun, having DLC be so third-party centric somewhat devalues it when a new third-party character makes
Not
it.
really.
More Nintendo characters to balance it out was a bit necessary.
Nintendo,
Bravely
not when
Default
it's
2 got
fucking
a demo.
Min. Yes!
Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics! Ninjala was shown off. This was a Splatoon-esque game that originally looked intriguing to me and still did, though the fact it was revealed to be a free-to-play game kind of killed a lot of my interest. It just kind of told me this wasn't the game I would have wanted it to be. Panzer Dragoon Remake got released right after the Direct.
Automataro Kaja. Oh, so that's for everyone. That's awesome. Oh, and that's Attack Up. Jesus, this guy's buff.
Could have been better. It just lacks a certain amount of polish.
I have to get rid of Hama.
Being in this Nintendo Direct, so many features were added in later as an update. It's still Panzer Dragoon, it just could have been a bit better. Like, why is this aiming reticle in front of the dragon? There were a few more announcements showed in a sizzle reel, like Burnout Paradise Remastered. I was ecstatic to see that. And also Mr. Driller Drillland coming back, ending things off with a look at the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass. I think we already knew
Give me them lightning gloves.
I personally didn't mind this Direct Mini. I got Clubhouse games. That's all
I
that
guess
matters.
take my fucking gloves and give me your Sigma Drive.
Detailing games like Exit the Gungeon and Baldo. Nothing earth-shattering though. Lego Mario sets were announced, but first teased with this video, and many people assumed this screen was a Nintendo Switch and Lego Mario was going to be a Switch dock. I have no idea why people thought that. I know the Switch's screen is slightly lower resolution, but it's not this bad. But right at the end of March, a rumor that loads of Mario remasters and a new Paper Mario were coming. The rumor initially stated how pretty much Mario's entire back catalog of games were coming.
His entire back catalog.
In reality, this just meant most of the 3D games were getting remasters, and it got my mind racing. Could this mean that Mario 64 will get a fully orchestrated soundtrack?
Oh yeah, and he
Mario
almost
Odyssey
fired
visuals,
too.
and
It's pretty
Sunshine
good.
gets reworked, and they fix up all of its little issues, and Galaxy 2 get retooled to be perfectly playable with just button controls, but also feature motion as an option as well. And maybe Mario 3D Land gets prettied up and has changes to accommodate the lack of 3D, and 64DS gets full analog control for the first time.
It was a fun 5 months before none of that happened.
A new Paper Mario, though, apparently it was going back to the series RPG roots.
Yeah, and I'm not sitting.
Well, after such a busy start to the year, Arc System Works decided to release as many eShop games that were already available on Switch as possible. That'll give us something to talk about. I don't know, they just decided to put out $5 versions of Double Dragon 1, 2, 3, Super Dodgeball, and River City Ransom on the
Yeah,
NES.
now I guess is,
Most of these games were already
immune
on NES Online or a
to, like,
Double
everything.
Dragon compilation that released in February. God, I've been
Which
wanting
means
to play
he's
Double
immune to
Dragon
electric,
on my
and that's
Nintendo
it.
Switch. Separately, Square Enix put out Trials of Mana, which was a full 3D remake of Second Densetsu 3, Secret of Mana. That game never came
It's a
out
shame I can't use her.
until last summer,
Uh-huh.
when they localized as Trials of Mana in the Collection of Mana compilation. Alright, super cool, we got both a full localization of the original Super Famicom game and a full modern remake of the thing. But getting both kind of devalues each one in my opinion though. Like, yeah, the remake is really neat.
Oh yeah, and I can use
Not the
things that
original,
aren't
so it's,
Thor
like,
now.
Cool, but not
Even
nearly
though he's
as
really
groundbreaking
good,
as it
actually,
could've been, I guess.
which is funny.
That's more so because Square Enix did the best possible thing and released both titles. But yeah, I'm happy to see Square do more stuff like this. While other companies are damn near petrified at the thought of remaking a Japanese-only game in
Speaking
a
of
relatively
Weak
dormant
Fire.
franchise, they're willing to put this kind of stuff into production. Because of that, I played the demo and then moved on to Picross S4. Come on, I had to. It's a 4th Picross game. Indivisible finally released on the platform.
The fuck
It was
happened?
about
I swear I saw it
time. This
move.
game came out for PS4, Xbox One, and PC in October 2019 and took this long to release on Switch. Even the developers were surprised. Streets of Rage 4, made by the same guys who did the Wonder Boy Dragon's
Alright,
Trap
bitch, I see
remake.
how it
These
is.
people are so good at Sega reboots with hand-drawn art styles. Everybody has their niche. Sega's been doing a fair amount of licensing recently, letting some developers remake some of their games or create sequels to them without a ton of their involvement. Like, they didn't develop or publish Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap, the Panzer Dragoon remake, Shenmue 3, or this. I really like that Sega is willing to let others continue their franchises for them, but it is a bit depressing they aren't willing to do it themselves. It barely matters because Streets of Rage 4 is amazing! It looks and sounds so good, and the gameplay is so satisfying and fun. Honestly, a fantastic modern beat-em-up in every way. I think both Streets of Rage fans and newcomers to the series will
Yes.
have a blast.
Here comes the gigantic fist.
Honestly, that was about it for games released in
Go
April.
Rush,
It was
come
a bit
on,
like
that was a good
Mario
move.
Double Dragon 2. But news-wise, Mario
I
Maker
think.
2 received its final update. Can it really be called the final one when you've only done 2? A ton of power-ups, items, and the ability to create your own world maps. This was an insane addition to the game. It's a shame I haven't tried it yet.
What's the gay guy, I
Well,
guess?
much like Animal Crossing, I definitely fell off of Mario Maker 2, but that shouldn't take away from the fact this update was amazing. The fact that Super Mario Bros. 2 was incorporated so much within power-ups and items tells me that potentially they were working on a full Mario 2 game style, but because of Mario Maker 2's lower sales, they just pushed it all out via this final update. Oh, lower sales. 6 million ain't nothing to sneeze at, but considering this is an endless Mario game that has infinite possibilities and is tailor-made to go viral, that number is definitely lower than you'd expect. When twice as many people are willing to spend 60 on Pneumonia, there's something wrong here. I feel like to most people, the idea of this being an endless Mario game doesn't really cross their mind. When you look at this next to New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, this looks like a 2D Mario game. This looks like I have to make the 2D Mario game myself. it's not immediately obvious this has an entire 2D Mario game in here via the story mode. And
Ooh,
all these different
Diarahon.
levels. And to be fair, even if you
Awesome.
didn't know all of that, sometimes a traditional 2D Mario game is just a bit more appealing. You have to dig for the good levels in Mario Maker. Splatoon 2 came back from the dead as Nintendo announced that in May they would be doing another Splatfest after they stopped doing them last year. They probably decided that due to the eczema going around with so many stuck indoors, hold another Splatfest. Crisis was revealed for the Switch. You know, this was the premier PC game back in 2007. If your computer could run this thing, you were tough. My Nintendo Switch can barely run a WWE game, but now Crisis is coming to it.
Let's revolt.
The Nintendo Switch's firmware was updated to include button mapping. You can basically make whatever button register as whatever you want. You can make A, B, and B up for all I care. This is actually quite a fantastic feature, and it's system-wide, which means it'll work across all games. You can do something as simple as swap the L button with the ZL button, or go hog wild and make a game completely playable via one controller. It's such a cool feature. But in the annals of this Nintendo Switch update lied code that hinted at the future announcement of a new Nintendo Switch model, a Nintendo Switch Pro, if you will.
Yeah, Nintendo Switch
Oh,
Pro is
fuck.
a pretty consistent topic. As consistent as topics itself. Just
You
all these
tried.
people say that because new consoles are coming out, that the Nintendo Switch isn't going to be able to keep up with them. So won't get any ports from the PlayStation 5, third-party support will dry up. Alright, Poindexter, what am I thinking right now? Damn it.
Listen, I would buy a Nintendo Switch Pro in a heartbeat. You really think after I bought a card binder for Mario Sports Superstore's Amiibo cards, a Switch Pro would be where I draw the line? I think Nintendo could greatly benefit
Life's
from having
bad.
a Switch with slightly more horsepower. Primarily just increase the potential
Okay, that
frame rates and
infuriates me
resolutions
more.
of games rather than having so exclusive games or whatever. I mean, we're seeing issues with Nintendo developed games. When those have small frame rate hiccups and can't extend
Oh.
I think an upgrade is definitely
He died to
You
his
know, we
own
need
thing.
a Pro because of the new consoles like the PlayStation 5, so then Nintendo can keep getting modern ports. Please. 99% of third-party support on the Nintendo Switch are ass-old games or games that are graphically
Kill 'em.
enough to run. Sure, we got
Yeah.
games
What?
and
How did they even miss?
but those are
You have
few
such a
and
high
far
luck
between.
and
The
magic
Switch isn't
chance.
selling because of those
Okay, our
games.
luck
Those
isn't
are
that high, but
bonuses.
still.
People buying Nintendo Switches are buying them for Animal Crossing, Smash Brothers, Mario, Zelda, Pokemon. A Switch Pro isn't necessary, but I wouldn't mind one at all and think it's gonna happen. Just stop acting like third-party support is in trouble on the Switch because of a new generation of consoles.
What a guinea.
PlayStation 5 is coming out. We aren't gonna get
I
such
remember that
Nintendo
one.
Switch games as
Phony Spear.
Doom 64. What else happened? Oh, Nintendo Network IDs were compromised. Some hackers got a hold of them, but not all Nintendo Switch users have Nintendo Network IDs. If you created a Nintendo Network ID on Wii U and then you use that to log into your Nintendo Switch, then you should be worse. May 2020 was the month Scott didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, a remaster of the original Xenoblade Chronicles from the
The fuck
Wii.
is going on?
It was later ported to the new Nintendo 3DS, but this version doesn't include the sound test and needless support in 3D model viewer of that version. So, thanks for calling it definitive. I needed that. It's great the original Xenoblade is now on a platform people give a shit about it on. It released too late here in North America on the Wii for most to pay attention to it, and it was only available on specific 3DS models.
Oh.
Have it on the Nintendo Switch with multiple improvements and in HD is definitely a good thing. Though this version is still a bit lacking in various ways. For being a Wii game at its core, Definitive Edition has a pretty low resolution, going from 720p to 504p. I didn't even know that was a resolution. It's even worse in handheld mode. Not to say this isn't a good game and you shouldn't pick it up, but don't take my
They
word for it.
really
I
like
know
making us
I'm talking
mad.
about a game like this. How about a game I know slightly more about, the Wonderful 101 Remaster? So, first up, this game was originally on the Wii U.
Double
published by
crit?
Nintendo. What do you think happened? This game
Jesus.
definitely deserved a second chance on the Switch, but I think it deserved it in a different
That was an
way.
insane battle.
So the developers of the game Platinum created this port for the Switch and asked Nintendo if they would be interested in publishing it. They said yeah, but it would stay exclusive to Nintendo platforms, so Platinum decided to publish it themselves. What did they think would happen? Why even ask Nintendo to publish it if no matter what you were trying to bring it to other platforms? So Platinum started a Kickstarter to fund the remaster. The remaster they already completed, and this Kickstarter money was mainly just to publish the game / get pre-order. It's fine, it's just a little iffy to me. You start a Kickstarter when you really don't need to. Like, I think crowdfunding is great for artists creating something they couldn't do otherwise. Nintendo offered to publish this game for Platinum, but they thought, oh, our fans can fund this for us. On top of all that, when the game came out, I didn't like this version. I think the Wii U release is far better, and honestly, I really would have preferred if Nintendo published the Switch version, because if they did, I'm sure they would have forced Platinum to do a better job reworking the game for one screen. Wonderful 101 used both screens on Wii U. It was built around them. It's not like it couldn't work on one screen, but the dual screen use was baked into the game at its core. It would have taken a bit more work to redesign it here and there. So they clunkily added a sub-screen that is annoying and looks gross, and it's even there when you're buying upgrades. Like, you couldn't have reworked the shop to not require a second screen? This is when Wii U ports are at their worst, in my opinion. When it's painfully obvious this was
Yeah, you
made for a
person
different console than what you're
fucking
playing it
hoes.
on. Captain Toad has a blinking blue orb on screen at all times to use as a pointer to click certain objects you would have touched on the Wii U gamepad. Yeah, the way it was always meant to be. Also, calling this remastered is like calling a stick a tree. This is the same as the Wii U version, but worse. The dual screen setup is clunky. You have multiple options for it, but it's still less than ideal. They didn't really go in and change problematic elements from the original, like the fact that tutorial isn't great. This is the same game, and I feel these features would have been fixed if Nintendo was publishing the game, but Platinum crowdfunded the release themselves to ensure they could release it on PC and PS4, so the game could be enjoyed by as many people as possible. Firstly, it would have been even more enjoyed if they put more care into this port. Secondly, nobody talked about this game being on PC and PS4. I'm sorry, but most of the people who were interested in this game were Nintendo fans. I don't think this game made a big enough splash on the other platforms to warrant this. Wonderful 101 is a great action game. It's adrenaline pumping, super fun once you get a hold of it. I just think the Wii U version is better. If you only have the newer consoles, it's not ideal, but it's still the wonderful 101. BioShock the Collection, Borderlands Legendary Collection, and
Not
XCOM 2
much.
Collection all launched on the same day as Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Dying.
I only bought the BioShock games, and buying
Oh,
them gives
God,
you all
Jotun.
It's so nice
Alright,
to
get
have
their
these
ass.
games on a Nintendo platform for the first time. They're such a welcome addition to the
Ah.
system. It's so cool seeing them playable on a portable. Borderlands 2 was on the Vita, but I think that's considered more.
Alright, he just killed himself, to be fair.
Shantae and the Seven Sirens. Forgot that even came out. They released this on iOS first because Apple paid them off to be a part of their whole Apple Arcade shtick, and I think that really hurt the talk around this game. It's like, oh, it's finally out. Again, The Elder Scrolls Blades is a mobile game that Bethesda was acting like it was a big deal it was coming to the Switch. I don't care. Bug Fables was an indie game taking heavy inspiration from the first two Paper Mario games. And if modern Paper Mario doesn't do it for you, maybe give this one a try, because you sure as hell aren't getting what you want from Nintendo. So out of nowhere, Nintendo decided to announce Paper Mario the Origami King one morning on Twitter. Oh, this has some credibility to the rumors from Mars. We're
Dude,
getting a new
Borderlands
Paper
2 is
Mario
like
game
a
featuring-
big bundle on Vita.
God, more epic narrative characters.
And
with
you
actual
underestimate
characters?
the
What
Vita.
is this? Paper Mario is back because I feel the need to eat up anything Nintendo releases for the Switch because I can't think for myself. See, Paper Mario's been in a weird place ever
That's
since
a
the
lot of
port
money.
entry. The first
Too
two
bad I'm a
were
millionaire.
RPGs with the Mario spin. Super Paper Mario was more of a
Anyways.
Sticker Star was back to more traditional Paper Mario gameplay, but with an incredibly poorly thought out gameplay mechanic of using stickers to battle. Topped off with the fact they removed any interesting characters and settings and replaced them with generic toads and typical new Super Mario Brothers locations, and copy and paste the same issues over to Color Splash, but dial them down a notch. I kind of like Color Splash, but the Origami King was looking to be somewhat different. What the hell is this?
Hee.
I did enjoy my time with Color Splash. It is not perfect, but I thought it was decent enough to see through to the end. This
Alright,
game
we
was already
gotta
learning a
get,
ton more interest than Color Splash or
fucking-
Sticker Star ever did, so I think regardless, this was a step
How-
in the right
you
direction.
never
But
noticed
also,
it before?
The fact Nintendo just announced this game randomly on Twitter
Gas.
is terrifying. I live
The
in fear
enemy.
now. Nintendo also updated the NES and SNES
Are you happy
online
now?
apps with
Anyways, I gotta...
My God!
I really want to get
Can't
Die
only
for
pawn
Me
on
on
Switch
this, but I
featuring
don't
online
think
multiplayer
it...
via the
I
SNES
tried
app.
getting it
This is
before,
all
but
I
it just
ever
doesn't show
wanted.
up.
Tetris Attack is one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. This is the localized version of Panel de Pon in Japan. Instead of Yoshis, we get small fairies. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I do prefer the Yoshis, but this is still Tetris Attack gameplay. It's one of the most satisfying and addictive puzzle games out there. They couldn't do standard Tetris Attack due to the Tetris license. I'll take the fairies, damn it. Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics is phenomenal. If you're not in the 30 hours plus club, get the f out of my face. Oh, a good game crawling back to the casuals. Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics is a sequel to Clubhouse Games on the Nintendo DS, but it doesn't really feel like much of a continuation of that game, rather an excuse to play a more
Give me
casual
Die
movie collection on
for
Switch.
me
Something
now,
for that
please,
Wii
you
Sports replay
fucking
audience
bitch.
with many of the
Theodore,
hard important
get
games, including the
it
original
now.
Clubhouse
I
games. This one is
am
developed
out
by ND
of
Cube, the developers of
shit.
Mario Parties. Yep, that's vomit. However, they seem to do a tolerable job with games of the not Mario Party variety, and a new example of that is Clubhouse Games. How can anybody say Nintendo's release schedule
No,
is light this year? They
not
released 51 games on one day. It's just so nice to have relaxing and simple pick-up-and-play games
Well,
like
that's
these
the
on
funny
Switch
part.
that never
It's
get
not.
old. I may not always be up
I
for
just
it,
made it
but
like in the
Dimension
same
3,
exact
Netflix
corner with
are
like
apparent
almost
as.
the same
Here's
UI as the
sequel.
game.
I really liked Moncala, dots and boxes, 4 in a row, hit and blow, hex, hare and hounds, Gomoku.
Can I even get
checkers,
die for me?
It's just Uno, and I'm a big fan of electronic.
Alice has it, and I remember in Pissona
Matching's
Few
great,
Fez you can
pigtails
transfer
fun,
it.
golf, billiards, bowling, darts, air hockey,
Googling.
shooting gallery. I like a lot of the games here, and they're the full-fledged things.
Can
These are
you
mostly
get
card
die
and
for
board
me
games. They're
on
gonna be just as fun 10 years
Thanatos?
from now as they are today. And Nintendo decided to put in online multiplayer for
Oh, it's on
nearly all
PTP.
of them between both
I'm trying for
strangers and
30,
friends. This
pressing
is what
X and
I'm
O for some
talking
reason.
about. It also looks
Just
really good.
shut
The
up, I don't know
visuals are
what DFM
quite
means.
nice. The sound design is good too.
So many
The
dark
sound effects
side.
of the game pieces
Skill,
are
animal
sound
ingredients,
so
all of the skill of
satisfying.
fire,
The music is
wind,
generally
ice, luck,
very
passive,
relaxing
recovering
and
hands, and
peaceful.
ultimate
Of
fine skill and
course,
such, but
there are
I
some
got, there's
drawbacks.
ranks
I
to
think
these?
everybody got really excited when they saw bowling was here.
Oh,
Like,
Thunder
my God,
Rain,
Wii
Stone
Sports
Man
is
stage
back.
and things,
And they
just like
included a tanks game, a shooting gallery, fishing. This is obviously trying to replicate a lot of what Wii Play and Wii Sports did. Unfortunately, I don't think any of the Wii Sports / Play
What's
games
DFM?
Clubhouse Games does is better than how Wii Sports / Play did them. Like, bowling is fine. I don't know. The controls are way more bitchy. Like, come on, just let me fling the controller as hard as I want. Golf is like this tabletop
Oh,
version.
come on, it's
so
an Alice
fun, but
exclusive
compared to
now.
Wii Sports, this gets old way
That's
quicker.
stupid. That's
stupid.
stupid.
Which were the exact same maps in Golf on NES. Just the fact that it's all miniaturized.
Yeah, well, I need my
makes it feel like I'm
Mudoon.
doing the exact same thing every time I play it. I'm always gonna hit the ball over here, and it's always gonna go there. At least with Wii Sports.
I
the
get
camera angle
Mudoon
controls make it really
and
possibilities. I really like billiards, but really it's
Mario
the exact
Kart
same
would just
thing
be
as 8-ball
funny to
billiards
have
you
on
play
them.
your iPhone for
I
free.
think there was a
Also,
physical
you
skill I
say
wanted.
this, but this is oddly not a great party game. It's really only meant for 2
Go Rush.
players. There are a few 3 and 4 player
Yeah, that's
games.
pretty good.
But like, why isn't
Why not-
bowling more than
Damn.
2 players? Why isn't
Maybe
darts?
it's
Why
not.
isn't golf? You're just passing off between each player in those games. Why isn't this offered? It's obvious Clubhouse was meant to satiate the desire for the Wii series to come back. I don't think Nintendo really wanted to do that. They'd
I'll
rather
see if
push
I
a
can
franchise
get
that doesn't have a dead
Mario
console name in its title.
with my
They'd rather
Mudoon.
not do that. Doesn't
With
mean
double
they won't.
things.
So they wanted to do a Wii
Not
Play
bad.
type game again. Dug in their archives and realized they made a game called Clubhouse Games. Said that'll do, and made another one. But it's a damn good one. I love this game. It's just simple, casual fun, and I like games like this. Damn it! I would still like to see Wii Sports or Wii Sports Resort return someday. They did their own games better and have.
Oh,
a lot more
I
personality.
gotta get Mudo
But even if they
Boost.
do come back, I still think Clubhouse Games has enough merit to warrant a purchase. And if you think otherwise, all you have to do is play for over 30 hours, and I'll believe you. But that
My
wasn't
Mudo
it
and
for
Mudo
Nintendo.
Boost, I don't
Out
really
of
care about
nowhere,
Mario
they
Kart
released
anymore.
a free game on the eShop.
5 light is
Jump
good, but I
Rope
think I get
Challenge.
no light in a minute. I'll fuse them. Nah, I want to do it for the first
Yeah,
time.
this was a
Good.
free limited release to be taken off the eShop at a later date. A game that Nintendo
I still
employees
have
made
that
in their
game.
free time due to
Jump
working
Rope
from home
Challenge.
because of dermatitis. Yeah, hold the 2 Joy-Con
Alright,
in
where's
both hands
Mudo
and pretend
Boost?
jumping
I'll
rope.
just go
It
off
works
the
pretty
map.
well and cuts
Mudo
even better.
Boost.
Kind of reminds me of Wii Play and WarioWare. Like, remember how in Pose Me, the background would change when you would reach different levels? Bam. And just the simple aesthetic does give me WarioWare vibes. It's a cute little freebie, and it was popular enough they added a bunch of random costumes for the bunny character and extended its availability on the eShop until further notice. However, the big game I was looking forward to this month
Boost.
was embarrassing. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, a remake of one of my favorite childhood games. So I've played this guy on the GameCube constantly. It's a pretty good
Did I
3D
see
platformer,
something
not like Mario
drain?
64
Who has a
Banjo-Kazooie.
drain skill?
Now one of the greatest games of all
Oh,
time.
Spirit
that's pushing
Drain,
it.
never
I've heard
mind.
so many
I
people
thought it was like a
talk endlessly
drain
about this game being such
element.
an amazing title, and then when those who didn't grow up with it try it
Oh,
out,
it does have,
like it's pretty
I
good.
don't know, it's not Invade.
Nothing much more than that, though. I think this game stood out to all of us who grew up with it because it was incredibly faithful to a cartoon we all loved, being a collectathon where
Chew
you explore
ghoul
all
for
these settings and
school.
complete objectives, and
That
you got
joke.
to be in the world of the show and talk to all these different characters. And on top of that, it was just well made. It had
Mudo
good music,
Boost.
visually, I was
No Mudo.
top notch for a licensed kids game, and that's what I think makes this one stand out so much. It was really good for a licensed kids game. As a standard game, it was good. I just don't think it would wow anybody who A, didn't play it as a kid in 2003, and B, isn't a fan of the source material. But I think everybody can agree this was a quality game that accomplished everything it set out to do. And just the fact that it was getting a full remake,
Look
that's
out for the boost.
insane. This is like the last game I would have expected to get that kind of treatment, but here it is. So I was always pretty skeptical about this remake on the lead up to release. Any footage I saw just looked slightly off. Like, it looked pretty good, but animations and some designs just didn't look right. SpongeBob's arms were too short. There's always this lack of polish that
SpongeBob's
permeated
arms
throughout
are
anything I saw in the
arms.
game.
What the fuck?
But
SpongeBob's
regardless,
arms
it
are
came
too
out in late
short.
June. It was okay. I played and beat it on Xbox One because I wanted an excuse to use the thing. June 23rd was when I remembered I owned another rectangle. But I still bought it on Nintendo Switch because the idea of playing Battle for Bikini Bottom portably was just too amazing. Now, the game itself is just fine. I can tell the
Boost.
developers really
Boost.
cared and were quite
Boost.
talented. They just
Boost.
didn't have the same level of
I
appreciation.
could get
for the game
Resist
that
Win
fans
just
did.
to
Like, they
add
knew it was a
insult to
beloved
injury.
game and had a ton of respect for it,
Boost.
but they
Boost.
weren't like fans who grew
I
up
really
with
wish
it
you could just
themselves. I
pick
feel
them
they
like in
just didn't
Persona
think some
5.
things through. Like, why did they change this picture in the
Boost.
bedroom? SpongeBob had
Fear
a picture
boost.
with his favorite superheroes before. That made sense.
Boost.
Now
I'm only
it's a
looking on the
screenshot
right,
from a
not
random
spending
episode.
time.
In
Repel.
fact,
Oh
he
wait, I
has
already
hair
have
here
that.
because this was that gag where the viewer thinks that's
Boost.
SpongeBob in a wig, but it turns out to just be somebody who looks like SpongeBob in a wig because the actual SpongeBob in a wig comes by right after this. So this isn't even SpongeBob! It controls fine. The original felt better, though. Your standard attack as SpongeBob just floats so well with your movement, and now it feels a lot slower and not as satisfying. A lot of animations still feel unfinished, like they should look smoother than they do. None of the music or voice acting is redone, which is fine, but a bit disappointing. Visually, I think it looks quite nice, but sometimes it just feels like they went for that typical what would Mario or Zelda look like in Unreal Engine. Animate approach that looks pretty good, albeit the boss fights have been severely worsened in my opinion, and they feel lacking compared to the 2003 version. When you were fighting a giant robot in the original, it felt like it. The camera angle made it feel like they were towering over you. Now it feels super lame. And on top of that, glitches are pretty prominent here. Overall, it was really cool to see my childhood game remade from the ground up. These scenes that are burned into my brain, reanimated in HD, it's seriously awesome and warmed my heart. These developers are really talented. I just don't think they had the time or budget to make it as good as they wanted it to be. At the end of the day though, it's fine, it's completely serviceable. I just think the original is still my preferred version, and honestly would have favored them just putting the GameCube game on modern platforms and widescreen and call it a day. But at least I have the game portably now. The Nintendo Switch version is pretty lackluster. Like, it's all here, but the frame rate is cut in half, and it's so much slower. There's this sluggish feeling to the controls now. For some reason, the attack button is here on Switch, with the jump button being over here. Why? That makes it a bitch to jump and attack. You have to move your thumb 2 counties over. Lots of pop-in and distractingly jaggy shadows are all over the place here. It's not ideal. It does the job, I guess, but like, this was on the GameCube. I know this is a much prettier version, but I just think it's a little ridiculous with how mediocre this runs on Switch. Especially considering they just released this game on mobile devices, and it runs perfectly. I don't know. I had my fun with this game, but it has its problems, and I would advise against getting the Switch version, honestly.
I need a cigarette.
The Outer Worlds was the latest PS4, Xbox One game you wouldn't expect to see come to Switch. They initially wanted to release it in March, but due to melanoma, they delayed it to June and were able to put it on a cartridge. It was originally going to be one of those digital-only physical releases. You know, you get a box, but nothing's in it. I worry about people who buy those. But here it is, The Outer Worlds on Switch.
Oh my god, I pressed
Not great, but it can be a lot worse. Like, they got the game to run, it just can get pretty bad.
See, it's being so sus right now.
They have updated it since, and I think it's not too bad on Switch. Perfectly playable, but there are 100% better options. Now, Burnout Paradise Remastered, that was a good port. Of course, it's an Xbox 360 game at its heart, so obviously it would work, but it runs so well, and it's portable, full-fledged Burnout. It's great! Namco Museum Archives Volumes 1 and 2 are collections of Namco's NES and Famicom games.
With Mamuto.
These versions of Pac-Man and Galaga, that kind of stuff. An interesting collection to do. I mean, these are far from my favorite versions, but I think it's cool when companies bring over these different console variations of games. Give me one good reason why the Game Boy Color version of Grand Theft Auto 2 hasn't been re-released. I think the best thing about Volume 1 specifically is the NES remake of Pac-Man Championship Edition. It plays so well and is so damn fun. Now, why they split these across 2 different volumes, I don't get and I don't like. When these both release on the same day, I find it completely ridiculous to separate them like this. And Ninjala finally released. I didn't play it because I honestly stopped caring. But that didn't stop me from also not giving a shit about the Pokemon Presents presentation this month. So I guess Pokemon now has their own things separate from Pokemon Directs, and they just call them Pokemon Presents now. They're the exact same thing, but now the Pokemon Company discovered another page of the dictionary. Here they announced Pokemon Cafe Mix for Switch and mobile devices.
Best game.
Pokemon Cafe
Mix is the best game ever.
It's a really cute art style. And I don't understand how strategy is involved here. I'm just swirling icons.
Shit, I have Muto Boost.
That's about it. You also can't play it in dock mode, only in handheld. See, Pokemon Company does these mobile games. They just make playable on Switch because it. But then they announced new Pokemon Snap, revisiting the concept of the original Nintendo 64 game. See, they waited until it made the least amount of sense. You had a whole ass Wii U gamepad that would have worked perfectly for this. I'm honestly pretty happy. This was such a fun idea that for some reason they only did once. I feel like this is a Pokemon game everybody can enjoy, both Pokemon fans and non-fans alike. And finally, the first part of the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC released after the presentation.
It sure did.
I picked the monkey when I played Pokemon Shield and got about 2 hours in. They had another Pokemon Presents a week later and announced a MOBA. I don't know. I played Clubhouse games for 30 hours. A free-to-play game, Pokemon Unite for Switch and mobile devices. People weren't happy. They hyped up another Pokemon presentation, and this is all they announced. Thank God Pokemon Cafe Mix launched the same day. The Kingdom Hearts series finally got announced for Switch via a rhythm game. I'm so annoyed I can't be confused on the go. The new Smash Brothers character from ARMS was revealed to be Min Min. A good choice. She seemed to be the best candidate, as Springman was already an assist trophy. I don't care that people say there are no rules that say assist trophies can't get in. I'm pretty set in my way saying assist trophies can't become characters in the same game. Just wait until Senate passes the bill. Only 2 whole months after reveal, Paper Mario the Origami King released to
Mudo boost.
reception.
Mamudo.
The general consensus
Let's
on this one
go.
is that it was okay. Not perfect, but definitely a step in the right direction compared to the last 2 games. Interesting way to say it ruined my lunch. I thought it was okay. It's just very frustrating to see these developers get so close but never get there each and every time with Modern Paper Mario. Modern Paper Mario has been plagued by poorly thought out battle systems and barely any unique characters. They're limited to using existing ones from your typical New Super Mario Bros. Games and not much more.
I am
Origami King
Thanatos.
is
I was
kinda
born of
better, but
thee, and I
not
shall walk
really.
by thy
So the story
side.
here is that the Origami King is transforming everybody into origami. Oh no! Why is that a bad thing? Like, wouldn't you want to be 3D instead of flat? Is it hell to
Hell
be
to be-
three-dimensional?
I love this
Real
line.
Mario
Is the hell to be-
depressed? You team up with the
Is it hell
Origami
to be
King's little
three-dimensional?
sister,
Is
Olivia,
real Mario
to stop him
depressed?
by traversing a fully connected world, which is pretty cool. Sticker Star and Color Splash
Oh
had a
my
world
God.
map where each location was its own separate level. Here, if you want to go from one place to another, you can just walk there, which does help make this
Mudo,
feel more
this
like
who
an
gives a
adventure.
shit.
The writing is as top-notch as ever. It was good in
Megiddo,
Color Splash
sure.
too, but
Absorb
Origami King
Pierce.
isn't afraid to get more serious
Yo,
and quiet moments here and
awesome.
there, which I appreciate. The visuals and sound
Weapons
absolutely
Master.
wonderful. It's sort of more of the same from Color Splash, but that is far from a bad thing.
Get rid of
Exploring these
Mudo,
worlds is
bitch.
great. They're so big with seemingly something new to find every step you take. But when you enter a battle with an enemy, you
level
get this
69.
ring setup. You have
If
to
I really
line
want
your enemies up in a
Megiddo, I
line
can
of
just
squares
get
and try
his
to take 'em
skill
out in as
card.
few steps as possible. Honestly, lining up enemies is a fun little puzzle, and afterwards it's just basic Paper Mario RPG gameplay like the first 2 games. But the problem is you don't get any experience points for completing battles. You just get confetti and coins, which you can find anywhere else in the game. And after a while, you start to notice similar formations to line up via the rings. It's like, oh, I've seen this puzzle before, yay. I do like the puzzle aspect. If this was its own game, I think they could have gotten a lot out of this. But after a while, it just feels completely worthless here. What's the point? This has nothing to do with the rest of the game. At least with Sticker Star, you used the stickers to battle. They were the main theme of the game. What the hell does a ring have to do with the Origami King? What does it have to do with Paper Mario, or paper in general for that matter? It's not paper themed, it's not origami themed, there's no story reason as to why you have to line enemies up now. It's the point of this! In Color Splash, the battles could also feel pointless, but afterwards you get hammer scraps, which eventually would expand the amount of paint you could hold. It was something. It made the battles feel slightly worth it. In Origami King, you don't get any of that. If I can avoid a
Dude,
battle,
this
I
Thanos
will.
is so
Because if you
fucking
find yourself
funny,
in
it
one,
makes
not
me wanna
only would it
murder
feel
without
pointless if it
looking.
was just battling, but now you have to line up enemies beforehand. This is a cute, fun little gameplay element that they just ruined here. There's no point to it. I liked it for a bit, but then it just got monotonous.
Alright, let's
you
go
just ask yourself,
kick some
why am I
ass.
doing this? And then the boss fights. They're against office supplies.
And Paper Mario is so much better now because of it.
I'm sorry, this is incredibly
Oh,
lame.
it's
This
the
was first time they
Royal
did this.
Dancers.
Sure, fine, but it isn't. They used real-world objects for comedic
It's
effects
just
in
like
Sticker Star and
Persona
Color
5
Splash.
Royal.
Here, it just feels like an incredibly lazy way to design original bosses disguised as a joke. Like if the office supplies were designed as legitimate characters, maybe. But no, this is just a fucking hole punch. However, when you fight against
This
them,
is just a
it's not the
fucking
standard
hole
ring
punch.
format. Instead, now they're in the middle of the ring, and you
Wait a
have to
minute.
get to it via various arrows and commands you step on. This is completely different from the normal battles. Again, I kind of like the puzzle act. They're in the middle of the ring. Objects for comedic effect in Sticker Star and Color Splash. Here, it just feels like an incredibly lazy way to design original bosses disguised as a joke. Like if the office supplies were designed as legitimate characters, maybe. But no, this is just a fucking hole punch. However, when
Okay,
you
I
fight
thought he
against
didn't
them,
censor it
it's
like
not
he
the
did with
standard ring
fucking
format.
Tails.
Instead, now they're in the middle of the ring, and you have to get to it via various arrows and commands you step on. This is completely different from the normal battles. And I kind of like the puzzle aspect, but this is
Shoot, what's my
basically
HP like?
just
Alright,
game
good.
during the boss fights. And also, this barely matters.
Yes,
because
because
at the end
they're
of the day,
none of
each
them are
boss has this
totally
very
dangerous.
specific
Mhm.
weakness you have to figure out, and if you know it, then there's no
Oh, it's
challenge
only
here.
one
It's just
foe.
do the
That
thing
sucks.
this boss is weak against, and you pretty much win.
Oh, it's
So
multi-hit,
this
though.
whole lead-up puzzle to attacking the boss
That
to me
wasn't that good.
feels like a giant waste of energy, considering many times the boss will regenerate its health if you just keep attacking it after multiple stages of solving a stupid navigation puzzle. Just to
Junpei,
get
that-
in, do the
that
one
was much
specific
better
thing
than
you
what I
needed
did.
to do, which can be somewhat cryptic sometimes. It's
When
just kinda
Junpei
weird that
is
the boss fights are so
literally
different from the regular
stronger
battles.
than a
With a battle system
death
like this, they would want to
thing.
incorporate boss fights that are like the ultimate test of what you've learned by winning in normal fights. that would be at least a slight motive to get into more battles. Now they just went for something completely different. It's obvious after reading interviews with developers that they don't really
Where they
want to
move
make
like
Mario
Marin
RPG.
Karin. That
Then
face
stop
in Marin
putting in these
Karin actually
fucking
hits.
turn-based battles. This game would be
Did that
so
do
much better if
more?
it was just an
Oh,
adventure
actually.
game where you explore these environments and solve light puzzles to progress. You don't need these stupid-ass battles. Super Paper Mario was basically a platformer with RPG elements. It's not like you need turn-based battles, but no, you keep trying to incorporate them even though you don't want to make an RPG. So don't make an RPG! I don't understand what they're trying
Well, this
to do
is,
here. I don't need another Paper Mario like the first two. But those were the two most consistently good. It's easy
This
to
is kinda
point to them
sus.
and
They're all
say,
going
hey,
for the
do something
dog
like
'cause
this
they're-
again, because they didn't have well thought out bullshit crowding things up. They had unique characters and memorable stories. This one
Why
is getting
have
there.
a,
But it's still held back by using typical Toads. You get a partner named Bobby the Bob-omb, and just the fact we got so excited by the fact that this character that looks like any other Bob-omb has the most basic name of all time is telling here. We're desperate for actual characters in these games. I don't know, I did enjoy a decent amount of Origami King, but about halfway through, it was really starting to drag for me, and I put it down. I do think I kinda enjoyed Color Splash a little more. That game has its own dog shit, but at least the battles felt more worthwhile as annoying as they were, and it never really got boring. I think Origami King's highs are much higher, but its lows are much
No, Ken, you
I
did
still think
not
it's a better overall
just.
game. I still think it's okay, but a bit more fun with the previous ending.
Haha!
Hooray! Well, let's talk
Also,
about
I have the
something
funny
positive.
HP. I
Deadly
have the funny
Premonition
HP.
2. This was supposed to be my saving grace. Yeah, the sequel to
My
the
max
cult
HP is
classic
the
game
funny.
that polarized critics was exclusive to the Nintendo Switch and released this month. It was riddled with technical problems and generally labeled as not as impactful as the predecessor by Deadly Premonition fans. To everybody else, it was just garbage. Crisis
Ken, you
Remastered
fucking
released, and
fool.
it's a fine version. It's Crisis, and if you want an FPS,
I wish I
on
could
Switch,
attack
it's
my own
Crisis.
party members.
Captain Full Body came out, just 12 more years until Atlas puts a Persona game
Yeah,
on the thing.
yeah,
There was
yeah.
this rumor going around
Talk
that
to
the
him,
Spanish
Scott.
dub of Breath of the Wild 2 was complete, which implied the game was close to releasing.
Yeah, and I'm still not sitting.
I think around this time, everybody was getting a little antsy for Nintendo news.
Oh my God, Ken,
Direct
stop
had our
being
last
horny.
Mini, and basically all the major games announced or dated in that one had come out at this point. We didn't really know what
At this
the
point,
schedule looked
all
like
they
after
do
Super
is use
Mario, but
Pierce.
Thankfully, a Nintendo Trios live stream was announced before
Fuck
the
it.
Origami King's release. This would show off the game, but also a new title by Way Forward in a franchise they haven't worked with before. Oh my God, what
Let's
am I
just let
doing,
him rush.
Metroid or Kid Icarus, maybe Kirby, or Wario Land. They had clarified third.
Never mind, they have
It's
poison.
gotta be Castlevania.
But do they even have anything
or
that can hit
Bakugan.
me? Because if so, if all my party members
Yeah,
just
this is
die,
stupid.
I can just...
Nintendo hyped up a new game
Yeah,
announcement for
nice
it ended up
one,
being a
Ken,
Bakugan
thanks.
game. And a bad one at that. Hey, WayForward can make some excellent stuff, but they still gotta do some licensed kids games to pay the bills. So for every Shantae or DuckTales remastered or Contra
Killed
4 they do,
Ken.
there's a Smurfs 2 right around the corner. Obviously, the publisher
Let's see if
of
I can do
Bakugan
this
paid
with,
Nintendo to show this off, but I just think they're
Just a
really
rush.
willing to, I don't know, say no to stuff like this.
I feel like I
When
actually can, what the
Nintendo says they're
fuck?
going to announce a new third-party game,
Oh, they have
chances are
Heatwave.
becoming increasingly more likely. It's gonna be some garbage like this. Well, later on in the month, some high-profile leakers said, "Hey, there will be a Nintendo Direct soon. Don't you worry." And on the exact date they leaked, boom! Nintendo announced the night beforehand that they'll be debuting a new type of Nintendo Direct, a Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase.
And Junpei is just, like,
Wonders await
unaffected.
us in-
They showed Roll Company!
What the hell was this? Much like the Treehouse stream, this felt incredibly
Ew!
basically told us nothing. They
Sorry, I
just
had to
made some
sneeze
high
because of how
DLC
bullshit this is on their end. Like, what the
Talked
fuck
about
is
Rose
this?
Company, I really don't care. Showed an entire
They
trailer
straight
for
up do not hit
WWE
me.
Battlegrounds.
We're all
And ended
poisoned
things with the
already.
announcement of an HD remaster of Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, and then saying that Shin Megami Tensei 5 is still in development after being announced at the Switch presentation in 2017, and that it will launch in 2021. No gameplay shown, but it's
What
about
the
that counts.
fuck was
That?
that?
It was 8 minutes long. That was
How did I win
That's
that?
off a bit of a problem I have with Nintendo presentations lately. It is so much more obvious now when Nintendo just gets
What?
paid to show something.
What?
Nintendo Directs feel way more commercially than ever before.
Yeah, I think my
They
part
just
is
showed
broken
a
after
full-ass
that.
trailer for WWE Battlegrounds with like no narration by the direct announcer. Do you really think Nintendo said, you
Precious
know what our
egg.
Mario fans would really like to see? That Bakugan shit they're working on over there. I mean, Nintendo presentations are always supposed to be advertisements, but back in the Wii U era, or even near the beginning of the Switch one, Satoru Iwata and other company reps made them feel like they were showing up to your
keep
living room
those
and just
somas.
casually telling you what Nintendo's been working on. They made Nintendo employees almost feel like your friends. now, these are just patronizing commercials that have no idea who the audience for Nintendo Directs and Treehouse streams are. Me's. It's the morning of August 5th, 2020. You wake up with the faint feeling that something is wrong. Picking up your phone, you see the announcement of Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
Future generations will never understand what we went through.
Announced in the exact same way, Paper Mario the Origami
Something's different
King
about the
was.
enemies
Pikmin
around
3
here.
Deluxe was
I'm getting
randomly
ahead.
announced
It
via
might take some
Nintendo's
time, though.
social media in August. I was just happy to have this get announced.
Oh, the
so
next
then people could
person
stop
is-
wondering when Pikmin 3
yeah,
would be
whatever.
recorded. Here, it's here, right here, and the trailer showed nothing. This trailer is bad.
We're going
when you
down.
go to the Pikmin 3 Deluxe
I'm yelling
website, it said
timber.
all this new stuff, like an exclusive prologue and epilogue. And
Aren't
extra
these the
features.
bosses from
Well,
earlier?
that's
Oh
what
my
was in
god,
the
they
trailer.
are.
Also, this was when the great Nintendo price point debate started to really come into question, as many didn't think Pikmin 3 Deluxe was worth $60. And I mean, yeah, this is a 7-year-old game that on Wii U was $60 at launch and was later reduced to $20, which is the price you could buy it for on the Wii U right now. But at least they were adding somethings.
Oh,
Yeah,
I just
it
thought of
would've
a
been
way
if
better
they
name
mastered
for
the
this
first
stream.
two Pikmins and added them in here for a full Pikmin trilogy or something. An indie world occurred. This one.
I'll do it next grinding
Short
stream,
Heist,
if I remember.
Fair, Card Shark, not anything crazy though. But rumors were pointing towards a Nintendo Direct happening after.
These are just the things from earlier that are weak to...
Insiders constantly run their
like,
mouths
all
about something
physical.
here, whereas the indie world presentation
Rush 'em.
happening shortly after the Nintendo Direct. Listen, you know you're playing with fire. A lot of these rumor guys complain when people get pissed off at them saying the Direct is gonna happen and it ends up being a Direct Mini Partner Showcase. Oh yeah, that's uncalled for. Who cares that much? But at the same time, to the people who leak this kind of stuff, what's the point? These announcements will be made regardless of if you leak it or not. If anything, you potentially may force them to not announce it because you leaked it. But you aren't doing anybody a service by leaking when a Nintendo Direct is coming. All you do is set expectations too high and then yell at people for having expectations so high. Well then, don't leak Nintendo Direct info.
Good morning. There's a human, one of them I think, wandering around Tartarus. Don't care, plus ratio. Don't care, plus ratio. Euphoria. I remember that answer. Fucking Yukari. Don't take it out of context. Alright, so Matsuru, she has a lot of like her own days. I think this day, yeah, this day, I think I'll just prioritize her on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Yeah, so I gotta make a schedule. Monday, Akihiko. Tuesday, Yukari. Wednesday. Oh. We don't have it on Wednesday. Nice. Ah, shit, Yukari's also on Friday. Yeah. It says Igus is available every day that isn't Sunday, which is good. I remember she was in like only certain days originally in mail route, which is funky. Sunday. Hey, you by yourself? No. Fuck off. What's her rank? Oh, she's 4. That's pretty okay for now. For what we have going. Man, these guys are so soggy. I mean, going to the bug store is kind of lame. Let's go somewhere else. Wait, let me see how much money I have. Oh no, where's my wallet? Did I drop it? But when? I had it when I pulled out my ticket in the station. Wait, someone bumped into me right outside this train station. Sorry, I'm gonna go back there and look around. Huh? That's okay. I mean, it's just over there. Wait here, okay? Well, I'll be right back. She's not coming back. She left you. What'd you say? You better shut your mouth, bitch. Can I get a piece of that, bro? Nah. Punch him. Mark. Huh? You want in on this too, sis? Sussy baka? Dude, they're both hot, bro. Hey, what's going on over there? Somebody call the police. Shit, let's split before the pigs get here. Oh, Monaco. Did you call them? Thanks. I didn't call the police, that's the funny part. What the hell? Seriously? What's up with these punks? Total waste of humanity. Seriously, what the hell? Jeez. I'm so pissed off. I thought, someone help me! I said that I wouldn't have to rely on anyone, but I needed somebody in a time like this. I'm pissed off at myself. No different than my mom. I'm gonna go back. Oh, hello. Ken moment. Shit, that reminds me. Oh, that's why I haven't been making him up. I'm so stupid. I don't have his persona. Like the justice persona. Theodore, give me a justice persona. I need it now. Now. Thank you. I'm having Angel. I'm glad when you go back to the dorm, you don't just go to sleep if you have to leave. Which makes it funny. What's the matter, Mark Sean? Oh, okay. Well, let's go. I love the air here. It's nice and cool in the morning, and in the afternoon the sun's bright and it smells like nature. But I especially like it at night. It's quiet. It makes me feel like I can be true to my own feelings. I had some homework a while back. We were supposed to write an essay about our dreams for the future. I couldn't think of anything to write about, though. The teacher got angry and made me stay after class, but I couldn't come up with anything. I really couldn't think of a single thing I dreamed of. But my teacher said that I had to return it, and I returned it in right then. So I wrote that I wanted to be a soccer player. Because that's what the guy next to me wrote. Come up here, Monaco, son. This guy's a little closer up here. I figured out why he couldn't say anything about what my dreams for the future are. It's probably because I've never thought about myself like that. I didn't care about the future. But you made me realize that. You didn't treat me like a kid or take pity on me. Listen to what I had to say. I don't simply wish to become an adult anymore. It all depends on how I become one. Aww. Yes. If you can stay by my side and watch over me, I'll be happy. If you don't mind, we could just shrine before we head back. I want to pray for my own safety. It's more important to me, after all. That's weird. Oh, there's no school. Fuck. Let's put a damper in my shit.
Visit your mother's grave.
Oh, hi, Sonata-san.
Is this where you should be?
Well, I was planning to, but when I thought about what I was gonna say to her, it just didn't feel right. There are things I still need to do before I talk to her again.
Yeah, same here. I don't have anything I need to tell Shinji right now. I have my own stuff to deal with.
An undefeatable enemy, huh? Gosh,
The enemy.
wonder what it's like.
You got me. But it doesn't matter, because I've made up my mind. I'm gonna look it straight in the eyes.
Straight in the eyes. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm not using Akihiko. Boom, 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 boom. Just in case, I will. Wait, did I even rank up Ken? Okay, good. I ranked up Ken. I thought I didn't. I'll do Akihiko. I really thought about it. It was there really was a choice to be made. I don't want to have to tell my mom that Shinji was going to be king. Should I tell him? Alright, well, we gotta go back to Tartarus now. Hey y'all, Tartarus here.
Oh, wow, you get all this fame from telling people you heard other people tell you. That must feel so gratifying. Now wait right here as I research the history of Wii U rumors and leaks. Another partner showcase occurred, this one featuring Kingdom Hearts, Melody and Memory, the Taiko RPGs, World of Tanks Blitz, Big Rumble Boxing, Creed Champions, which looked bad. The collection of Saga, which had this disgusting border around all the games.
I think we only have one more boss.
Yes! I'm just throwing it out there. This is my year. We ended this partner showcase with a sizzle reel of stuff that wasn't important enough to give full headlines about. What an ending. Yeah, this was a bad start to the whole partner showcase thing, but I got free pictures too, and I'm gonna brag about it. Outside of news, this was a sparse month, and I'm not talking about Jump Force. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered finally came out after being announced 2
Why are we so weak?
years ago. This is a remaster, and Jesus Christ. PGA Tour 2K21 and Samurai Jack Battle.
Why are we so bad? What the fuck? I just gotta kill
Another
him.
rumor came out about a Nintendo Switch Pro releasing in 2021. God, let's move on to something.
Oh.
It was not a fun time to be a Nintendo fan. You have to look forward to paying $60 for Pikmin 3 Deluxe in October. Its obvious announcements had to be made. Of course, throughout the
What
entire
happened?
year,
Why are we
many
so
sources
weak
were
now?
claiming those Mario remasters were coming in, all in celebration of the 35th anniversary of Super Mario.
Oh, everyone is
Nintendo
sick.
always goes all out for Mario's anniversary.
That explains
Remember
it.
the 30th
Except for
anniversary
me.
when they shoehorned
Ken
in
and poor Mario were
Maker's 35th
sick,
anniversary
though.
celebration and admitted it wasn't
Oh,
really
they're
supposed to be, it
suffering.
just
That
got all lined
sucks.
up. And the 25th anniversary when they sold us an SNES game on a
So
Wii disc for $30. Nintendo hates
Oh,
Mario
shit.
and to a greater extent. Well, we finally
Oh.
got what we wanted. Nintendo announcing games through a Nintendo Direct. On September 3rd, Nintendo uploaded a Super Mario Bros. 35th Anniversary Direct online. All their plans, including Super Mario 3D World finally coming over to Nintendo Switch, being an updated version touting Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
You can't
Now, after
kill me.
Nintendo brought over Captain Toad before 3D World and included Mario 3D World as a game style in Mario Maker 2, I like the concept that 3D World would be the only Wii U game Nintendo never ports to Switch for absolutely no reason, because Nintendo does stupid fucking things only they understand every other week. I would have assumed during a developer interview when they would ask, why did you never bring Mario 3D World to Switch? They would say something like, the game doesn't belong on Switch, you had to use the microphone sometimes. It got announced, thankfully, alongside a mysterious edition of Bowser's Fury, Super Mario Bros. 35, a Tetris 99 style version of Mario 1, Mario Kart live home circuit, a game
Haha,
using a real
yes,
RC
be
Mario Kart
afraid.
and the camera
Be
controller
afraid of
using a Mario Kart
Thanatos.
track. The final major announcement was Super Mario 3D All-Stars, a compilation of the first 3D Mario platformers releasing in 2 weeks on September 18th. So, let's discuss. Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Shit.
Deals to release, I've
Oh.
seen for a physical release.
Oh.
I assume Nintendo wanted to go wild with the 35th anniversary at something like E3, but, you know, athlete foot. So they just announced it at seemingly the last possible minute, and after I saw that announcement in the Direct, I went the rest of my life knowing I was disappointed by Mario 3D All-Stars. Those rumors didn't do it any favors. When you say Mario 64 is getting remastered, I'm kind of going to expect more than this. But disregarding the rumors, let's evaluate this package as a whole. You get
Oh, I
three
can. If I can
games,
play my cards right, I can.
Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario Galaxy. Oh no, they didn't include Mario Galaxy 2, Mario 64 DS, Mario 3D Land. Why would they do that? I mean, they obviously could have done more here. I assume they kept it to these three because they're all the most distinct of the 3D Marios. You throw Galaxy 2 in there and half the collection is about Mario Galaxy. However, these were the main three that needed to be here. I think we can all agree on that. But oh my god, what budget did this project have? I don't think this menu looks too hot. I get the font choice is trying to replicate Mario All-Stars on the Super Nintendo, but why not go all the way and just have like a nice modern recreation of that menu? Why is the year the biggest text? I like that they include each soundtrack separately to make it seem like there's more stuff in this package. The only bonus feature is the inclusion of each game's soundtrack. Cool, but it's like, who's actually gonna use this? I think it's kind of neat how every time you go to this menu, a different song from one of the games plays, but it would have been nice to have original music made for this collection. Also, maybe an art gallery, concept art for crying out loud. These are games I would kill to see development history on. Also, quick nitpick, why does Mario Galaxy show the Wii's white game case, but Sunshine just has the box art, no black game case? On to the titles, and each game has been upgraded in some way. Mario 64 is still 4x3, which is... I mean, I personally think widescreen N64 games look weird, but it would have been a nice option considering the other two games in this set are widescreen. It plays incredibly well and looks sharp. They smoothed out a lot of text and used higher quality art assets in some places. But this is still the
Oh, I think they used the
exact
power
Mario
card.
64 we all know. Nobody's gonna
Totally.
playing and go, new game, huh? They did use the updated Rumble Pack version of 64, only released in Japan, so it's kind of cool we got that in our next list for the first time ever. Yeah, Rumble is included, but this version removes some glitches that speedrunners use in Mario 64, so that automatically makes this release an inferior one for many.
Yeah, they totally use
Included
the
both
car
the original
card.
version of Mario 64 and the Rumble version, but nope, other than that, it's Mario 64. It's one of the best games of all time, but we've seen it enough at this point. It looks really nice for just being Mario 64, but obviously I would have liked it to be more than just Mario 64. Super Mario Sunshine. This one was upgraded the most of the lot. Full widescreen, and they had to adjust the controls to work with the Joy-Con and Pro Controller. See, the original game
yeah,
used
Ken
the
has-
analog triggers of the GameCube controller, and they had to rework them a bit here. Since
That's funny how he has like custom text for
it
that.
works fine, and the game still looks really nice. But they had some cutscenes in Mario Sunshine that they just zoomed in on to fill the widescreen display, and I hate when that happens. You're losing out on a good bit of the image. Everything's more clear now, but in the original release, I could see more shoes. Then Mario Galaxy, my favorite game of all time. It's a powerful feeling to play it portably. This is what elected officials feel like. This one was weird considering you used the Wii Remote, Nunchuck, and the sensor bar. Well, now you use the gyroscope.
Oh, I thought I was gonna get away.
It was off center a lot. It works, but you have
A
to
Magus!
to the
Red
center
sus!
and
Oh, my soundboard doesn't work. Bow, 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 bow,
you
bow.
have to play the role of a level. They also gave you the ability to just hit a button to spin instead of shaking the controller. Though I'd shake the controller anyways because it's damn muscle memory at this point. Playing with the Pro Controller was weird. I can only do 2 Joy-Cons.
Mono on
Pretty
mono.
natural, just like the Wii is two controllers with Joy-Cons. Now in handheld mode, for all the pointer stuff, you use the touchscreen. What the fuck is their problem? You use the right stick or something to control.
Oh my
the
god, I'm
game.
doing
Don't
so
want to
bad
use
right
the
now. I
gyroscope
just
at all,
don't
Galaxy.
want to be
Why
here,
not
to be
offer that
honest.
as an option? Because they still force you to use the gyroscope.
I didn't even mean to switch that, I told you. Ugh.
Why? They couldn't have reworked it a little more to make the pause menu option selectable with just the analog
Here we
stick?
go, kill him.
Mario 3D
It's because
All-Stars
2 of them are 6, so they do less damage.
It's a pretty low effort project. They put some effort into this. Enough where I think if you're gonna put so little effort in, why not put absolutely none in? Why even smooth out the visuals of Mario 64? Why even put Mario Sunshine in widescreen? But they do those things. So at that point, I gotta ask, why not go a little further? Why not make it so you don't have to awkwardly use the gyroscope or touchscreen for Galaxy's menus, or not just straight up crop Sunshine's cutscenes, or put 64 in widescreen, or damn anything more than just adding the soundtracks as a bonus feature. Obviously, I'm incredibly happy with this game's on Switch. They're some of my favorites, and it's the first time Sunshines ever been re-released. It's not like these are bad versions of the game.
Are we like
Far
all
from
just
it.
doing more? Oh yeah, 2 of us are tired.
Of all time.
I'll explain
There's
up
some ecstatic
shit
to have
of
it
it
here,
more.
and looking better than it's officially ever been. I do think it's all worth $60, but you can't just deny the fact that so many other companies have put so much more effort into their collections and charged significantly less. This is Mario. He 100% deserves so much better, and it's not like I can just not
I hate how they
buy
just
it to tell
stop
Nintendo
you
what I
to
think.
attack.
I'm a bitch. But
Like,
one of
I'm
the
holding the
stupidest things
stick.
about this is that it's a limited time offer. After March 31st, 2021, this puppy is not going to be manufactured anymore, and the digital version's being ripped from the eShop. This is Nintendo creating artificial demand. Everybody ran out to buy this in fear that it would be rare and they couldn't get it in a few months. Man, I feel so special. I was one of the few 8 million to buy this game. It's not even a special box for the physical release. At least with Mario All-Stars on Wii for the 25th anniversary, this is a classy as hell collector's set. Here, I think the inside is just a collage of screenshots. This would take you 30 minutes at most to put together. No booklet or soundtrack CD or
Oh, I thought
keychain or
the
anything.
guy was on this
It's a
floor. I'm
full budget
stupid.
release for $60. Mario 3D All-Stars makes me happy, mad, and lonely. The new WWE 2K Battlegrounds came out this week. Hades was kind of the surprise indie hit here, being nominated for Game of the Year by so many publications.
Mad 'cause
I had to see what
bad.
the deal was. Am I just bad? Hades is a roguelike, and the main thing I hear everybody say is, I've never played a roguelike, or I hate roguelikes, but Hades is excellent. Yeah, it's a really quality time. Pretty much you only blast through the game without dying, and every time you die, you just start back from the beginning, but you become wiser and more powerful, but since it's a roguelike, the levels are different now. They're procedurally generated every time, and the combat's really good and satisfying. I'll say it's better than Mario 3D All-Stars, because it doesn't force you to use the touchscreen in Galaxy. There was another surprise Nintendo release this month, Kirby Fighters 2. For 20 bones, you get a pretty decently sized Kirby fighting game based on a 3DS eShop game that was based on a minigame in Kirby Triple Deluxe. Basically, imagine Smash Brothers. Not as good, but all the different fighters are either Kirby characters or Kirby with different power-ups. It's not too bad, but I unfortunately kind of have the mentality of, yeah, but Smash Brothers is right there. I mean, it's different enough. If anything, Smash Brothers takes a lot from Kirby Superstar in terms of design, so if anybody can make a game like Smash Brothers, it's Kirby. Well, Kirby Fighters 2 is just alright. You get a decent amount out of it, but...
God damn it.
But that wasn't it for Nintendo this
I like how
month. Out
3
of
of us
nowhere,
blocked
Hyrule
fire.
Warriors Age of Calamity, a successor to Hyrule Warriors, but this time being an official prequel to Breath of the Wild. Again, this was announced like Pikmin 3 and Origami King, randomly on social media one week, which took away a lot from it. Sure, you get that rush, but I do
There are only
miss the
2 of us,
showcase
huh?
of Rex. Oh, joy! Another partner showcase. Well, what the do you have this time? Brand new Monster Hunter Rise coming exclusively to Nintendo Switch on top of Monster Hunter Stories 2, Fitness Boxing 2, Disgaea 6, and Ori and the Will of the Wisp available that same day. This is better.
I thought Evolution was a myth!
Crazy to see Will of the Wisps running so well on Switch. They had some performance problems at launch on Xbox, but hey, it's here, it's lovely, and it shows that Microsoft still considers the Switch to be a legitimate platform for their games. They're allowing so much wiggle room, and that makes me so excited for the future. Some of the future. A Fortnite limited edition Nintendo
What the
Switch got
fuck?
announced.
Didn't even
Pokemon
see
DLC
them.
is further detailed in the presentation. For the love of, let me talk about Mario 35. Super Mario Bros. 35 is a free battle royale for Nintendo Switch Online members. You can play the original Super Mario Bros. Through a random string of levels and try to be the last man standing of 35 other players. This is a lovely idea that could be phenomenal. But in the end, it's just good.
Well, then I'm pissed.
For some reason, you have to unlock different
Well,
levels to
I'm
vote on
pissed.
for what everybody starts playing, but since most people are only going to have 1-1 unlocked, that's pretty much what you're going to start on every single game, and 80% of the time when I complete a level, it starts me back at 1-1 or 1-2. It gets pretty old.
When's the last
Then
boss?
there's just the potential this concept has.
211?
It could be like Mario Maker, where you have different Mario game themes. Imagine
And I can only use physical on that boss.
like Peach or Toad playable. Also, a problem I have with these Battle Royale games is once I get first place, I kind of lose a lot of motivation to keep playing.
Where's
when I
the-
beat it. I just think Mario 35
Core Mario,
has
no!
potential, and I want to see it grow and improve. It's super fun, but I'm tired of playing the first 2 levels constantly, and I can see how this game could be
What the
so
dog
much
doing?
more. But as it stands, that probably won't happen because much like Mario 3D All-Stars,
Alright,
Mario
I'm surprised it
35
didn't get
is set to
attacked or
expire
anything.
on March 31st. After that, it won't be playable anymore.
Junpei
Well, that stinks. At least with 3D All-Stars, there are physical copies out there, so no matter what, you'll be able to find the game and play it. And if you already own it, no worries. Mario 35 is an online game, and when it's gone, it's gone. Nobody can play it ever again. This one I have a harder time understanding, and there was definitely more work put into this than 3D All-Stars, It has unique music and a really good online multiplayer system. And to just throw all this work away after a few months of being available, this doesn't seem like a way to heighten the celebration, as Nintendo put it. This seems fucking stupid. Well, the next part of the 35th anniversary release this month, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. How does this celebrate that? It just fell into place. You can't tell me Mario Kart Live is supposed to be an anniversary title. A little weird the Switch hasn't gotten any word on having a Mario Kart to call its own. I know people keep pointing to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe selling so unbelievably well. Of course they're not going to take it. Selling really well is how you make a
It's
sequel.
just
That's
not
Super Mario
fun.
Brothers is selling so damn well, of course we can't make a second or third or world. Obviously Mario Kart's a little different, where each entry isn't super different enough to release on the same console. This is kind of a one game per system franchise. But that gives them an excuse to go hog wild for a new one. Do something weird, do
Oh my
something
god, I need a
different.
break. I need a fucking break. Water. Give.
Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. I would not consider a full-fledged game. It's pretty much a toy with a Nintendo Switch app to go alongside it. For $100, you get
This
an
game
RC
pisses me
Mario
off
Kart
sometimes.
with your choice of Mario or Luigi. You connect it to your Switch, and now your living room is a Mario Kart track.
But when will it learn to love?
This is honestly a super cool feeling. Like, wow. Not only is it fun to see your house from this perspective, but controlling
the
RC
fu- I was
cars
on the
with controllers,
stairs.
turns and accelerates. It feels like Mario Kart. Not one-to-one, but enough for this to be a really cool
14
experience
damage.
for the first hour. This is definitely something I don't need to go back to ever again. I think everybody should try it out at some point, but there's not much meat.
There we
to it.
go.
One, don't have a ton of living space, or two,
I
have a
don't
huge
care
desire
about
to set up
levels
a
right
library of
now.
physical courses.
I'm not really
Because they
even
have a
under
lot of
leveled.
visual themes for courses here, though the track setup depends on how much you're willing to do in the real world. Most of the music is completely recycled from past games, and playing with multiple people, that's gonna cost you 2 Mario Kart Live Home Circuit sets at the very least. Really neat idea and novelty.
Fuck
It's
this.
just kind of not much more than that. But that's not really
wasn't
any
expecting
fault
them to
of
go that
developers.
far.
It's just a cool little toy, and that's all it should really be viewed as. Since it needs Wi-Fi to operate, you don't get a game card with the set. Instead, you have to download a free app off the eShop, which means anybody can get in on the fun, even if you don't buy the physical set.
Oh yeah, I got Mario Kart Live.
Show us the car.
Didn't account for that question.
Pikmin 3 Deluxe, boy, that just kind of released, didn't it? Why did they announce this 2 months ahead of time? I feel like that kind of made people forget this was even coming out. I mean, like a week afterwards, the next-gen systems were releasing. I just don't think this was a great announcement to release strategy for this game. But hey, we finally have a Pikmin game on Switch, and it's still Pikmin 3 and very little else. I adore Pikmin 3. It's
God
one of my
effing
favorite
damn
Wii
it.
games. I consider it to be the best of the Pikmin series. 1 is still my favorite, but looking at each game as a whole critically, 3 is the best, and 3 Deluxe is the best version of it. The controls on the
Run,
Wii U version are still a
Jesus.
little better because of the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. 3
Was
Deluxe
that
has tons of
Megiddo?
control options, and I personally prefer using 2 Joy-Cons to replicate a Wii Remote and Nunchuck.
Alright,
Which
well, I gotta
found
come
worked
back
pretty
in like a
well, but
few
I haven't
days.
Calibrated a ton like with Mario Galaxy. Performance-wise, it's pretty much the same as the Wii U release, sadly. It's still 720p at 30 frames per second, and sometimes that frame rate dips. Come on, I would have loved to see better performance, and the extra features added to this release are crazy substantial. I'm happy they're here, but the prologue and epilogue aren't that deep, though 2-player co-op in story mode is a super nice addition. I would have liked
Where are
online
the
play
stairs?
with bingo battle mode, and
Great.
reassurance that Pikmin 4
What?
is still coming.
Where are the
We can't
stairs?
have everything, but we can have Pikmin
It's right over
3
there.
for
See? I
$60.
drew it
I'd still
on
fully
206F.
recommend this game. It's wonderful and one of my favorites. The Switch release could have been better, but I still think it's the definitive version. FIFA 21 Legacy Edition. Who's buying these? EA gave up on FIFA for Switch long ago and just re-releases last year's game with updated rosters, which they did for FIFA 22, so this is not only a reskin of FIFA 20, it's a reskin of a reskin. Big month for news though, a Smash Brothers character was revealed, this one being Steve from Minecraft. It just makes sense. I mean, Minecraft is the best-selling game of all time. Steve is an icon, more so than pretty much any of the other DLC characters. Nintendo announced that the original
Joker
Fire Emblem
moment.
for the Famicom was being localized in English for the first time
Okay,
ever.
honestly, Joker,
Fire
I'm
Emblem
giving more
Shadow
credit
Dragon
to doing he
Blade
deserves.
Light. It was released in December for
Not a lot of
$6
people
and
know
unavailable
Persona 5 that
on
well.
March 31st. Nintendo, what is your problem? I mean, that's when their fiscal
the
year
shadows
ends.
fucking
They can get more money this way by
faster
forcing
than
everyone
you?
to panic
What?
and buy Fire Emblem even if they don't want it. But again, this is
Oh,
a
maybe I'm
digital
moving
only
slower
game.
'cause
When
I'm
it's gone,
tired.
it's gone. They released a physical collector's edition, but it only came with a download code, which is stupid. What if I get the collector's edition and don't download the game before April?
Yeah, that Fire Emblem downloaded. Show us the fucking car!
At least they reduced the price of a single Joy-Con down by $10. I don't even see single Joy-Con in stores. Oh look, Nintendo reduced the price of a Dodo bird. They updated 3D All-Stars with more options for the camera controls.
Dodo,
Take
like,
care
New
of the game that will
Horizons,
refuse to
funny.
exist. Then we had a few presentations. One Treehouse live stream on Pikmin 3 and Hyrule Warriors, and one final direct
Woof.
mini partner showcase, God Help Us All. Bravely Default 2 gets dated for February. Alright, fine looking game and all, and here's just my thing. So many times Nintendo
Out
just
of
plays
log.
like a 5-minute long trailer for games like this during directs, and I don't know. I feel like you already know if you're interested in Bravely Default 2 the second it got revealed. I don't really think a 5-minute trailer is gonna change your mind, or 4 minutes into a 5-minute trailer you go, no, well now I'm interested. Hitman 3 is coming. Oh my god, talk about out of left field. It's a cloud version. Talk about out of left field. Jesus, Control is coming too? Cloud version. Today, well, let's see about this. No More Heroes 1 and 2 got ported to Switch, dropping this exact day, and Nintendo decided to release Part-Time UFO and a Hyrule Warriors demo on the eShop at the same time. How are these from the same series? They really improved the partner showcases as time went on. I hope Nintendo realizes that if you're
Alright, finally, I'm not even gonna fight
make
it.
sure half of it isn't WWE
Or
Battlegrounds.
them, I guess.
Part-Time
There's...
UFO is a cheap little eShop game made by
Three
HAL
of them.
Laboratory, the Kirby devs. One of their latest eShop-only non-Kirby ROMs was Box Boy and Box Girl, and I definitely like Part-Time UFO a whole lot more. This was originally a mobile game, but was upgraded for Switch, and it works really well here. I know I said mobile games coming to Switch is to me, but this was done by HAL. It already feels like a Nintendo game.
Oh wow, Google just straight up closed for the CPU usage. Well, I promised to spend time with them. Oh, it's Christmas! No. Can I go with Junpei? No? Do I have time to go out with Mitsuru today? Okay, no, I gotta go out. Okay. So basically, they just asked me out to Christmas. School's finally over. Then we head over to Pissona Mall. Ooh, perfect timing. Fuka's here too. You have come to Pissona Mall, Yukari and Fuka. Wow, look, they put lights up all over the mall. It's a sea of illumination. And then Minion pops up. Illumination. It's great having people to appreciate it with. Let's enjoy the scenery here a little longer first. Give me a cookie. Christmas. Happy birth. Let me see a cake with candles to get the urge to sing that, huh? I always wanted to try out this cake. Who's to know it was sold only around Christmas time, huh? Oh, that sounds delicious. Let's eat. Hold your horses. Let me cut it first. Feels like a shame to cut such a work of art. I know the feeling. It's so pretty. I just want to leave it on the shelf. Exactly. See, you understand. Junpei would be like, I don't get you, chicks. Maybe it's a girl thing? Now, let's eat. Are you kidding me? No Fuka cookie? Oh, never mind. Is Christmas almost over already? My stomach hurts laughing so much. I don't think I've ever had this much fun on Christmas before. I thought we'd be spending most of my time with a boyfriend once again in my high school. But a Christmas just with the girls is pretty fun, I gotta say. Count me in too. I'm so glad I came to this school. Aw, you're exaggerating. But truth be told, I feel the same way. Well, it's getting late, so... Oh, is the party over? Nope, time for American Stories. Huh? Okay, so this one time, Mark's on. She baked the fucking... AK... a cookie. In the oven. It didn't taste that good. Alright, Akihiko time. There's no one here. That's a pity since the wind is so nice right now. No, not so much lately. Shinji used to come up here when he skipped classes. He'd fall asleep, so I'd come here when my club activities were over to get him. You can see out to the distance from here. It's so far that my eyes start to hurt trying to see it all.
You remember the stuff I told you about my sister? I'm tired of losing what's important. I thought it would be better not to let things get too important than to risk losing them. But lately, I don't think so. If I want to avoid that feeling, I have to work to protect what's precious to me. And that means everything precious. Including you.
There are a lot of choices for this rank, but we've already ranked up. Is he gonna ask us stuff now?
Huh? No, of course not.
Wait, was one of those the right option?
I will. Huh?
Good.
Huh? So... It's really strange. I really liked hanging out together. I used to, anyway. But now... I feel all tense and on edge. It's the weirdest thing. Love? This is love. Huh. Oh, it already slipped out, but I'd like to know how you feel. Will you be my girl?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Well then, here's hoping for the best, right? Wow, this got awkward all of a sudden.
Oh god, imagine if I actually didn't forget to romance Shinjiro. Cheating on him with a dead man. Especially a dead friend that was basically his brother, wow.
Welcome back.
It's December 25th, huh? Let's talk about death and fate in town. Talk about a non-romantic Christmas. Christmas will be better next year. That's right, next year. We're not gonna let the world end. Ken, oh, come on. I know it's a fast holiday. I get regular people dance their way into New Year as well, but we're what? We're what, Ken? What are we? Good morning. It's cold today, but it's worth it for winter vacation. Fuck. Okay, never mind. Winter vacation is never that long. We should have time. Oh, I should have dozed off. It's okay, It's Tsuru Day. Let's go. Rank 3 only? Okay. I'm just use these luck cards on oh, I could have used that. Why do I have so much Malachite? What the hell? Let's check them out now. Ooh, that's a good look stat. Is that magic going over? Like, is that why it's orange? That's funny. But his luck is almost maxed out. That's good. We have 420 HP though. We only have a short time to be together like this. Soon we'll be looking back nostalgically at these times. I'm just tired. There's no need for you to worry. Since my father passed away, I've been faced with many difficult problems. Most likely I won't be oh my god. I'm reloading. My inheritance, the future of Kirijo, and the expectations of everyone involved with both. Most likely, I won't be able to attend college or begin a profession. I will have to find another path. Say, Arisato, what are your thoughts on marriage? The end of your life. You're so straightforward. However, I'm a Kirijo. I cannot simply make a decision according to my emotions. An agreement between two parties such as marriage must be carefully considered. This is what I think. Marriage is a social contract. You are not just linked body and soul, you are linked to each other's social backgrounds as well. My parents' marriage was arranged for strategic reasons, but as time passed, they slowly grew to love each other. I don't consider them unfortunate, and love comes in all different forms. Do you disagree? You should know that I don't have one. We're living on the same roof, aren't we? She's offended. If I could speak with my father one last time, I would ask him. I can't believe this library is closing and we're still here. Working in the library. I'm not setting up a very good example as to council precedent. We should go.
Sup, dude?
The second term has finally ended. There are only 5 days left until New Year's Eve. The fear and anxiety still remain, but I'm no longer confused. And we'll fight until the end. I made up my mind. Ken. Aww. Alright, check everyone's status. I like how, oh, they actually just tell you who can't go. I mean, obviously, I guess, because, you know. It's kind of weird how that's a thing. Like, there's not a lot of times where people just won't go. Alright, everyone's feeling good, which is good, because that's good. So it means they feel good. Going to Tartarus.
Joy! Another partner showcase. Well, what the do you have this time? A brand new Monster Hunter Rise, coming exclusively to Nintendo Switch on top of Monster Hunter Stories 2, Fitness Boxing 2, Disgaea 6, and Ori and the Will of the Wisp, available that same day. This is better.
I thought Evolution was a myth!
Crazy to see Will of the Wisps running so well on Switch, as it had some performance problems at launch on Xbox, but hey, it's here, it's lovely, and it shows that Microsoft still considers the Switch to be a legitimate platform for their games. They're allowing so much wiggle room, and that makes me so excited for the future. Some of the future. A Fortnite limited edition Nintendo Switch got announced. The Pokemon DLC was further detailed in the presentation. For the love of fuck, let me talk about Mario 35. Super Mario Bros. 35
already
is a
watched
free battle
this.
royale for Nintendo Switch Online members. You play the original Super Mario Bros. Through a random string of levels and try to be the last man standing of 35 other players. This is a lovely idea that could be phenomenal, but in the end, it's just good.
Well, then I'm pissed.
For some reason, you have to unlock different levels to vote on
There's
before
only-
everybody starts playing, but since most
Oh,
people
there are
are only
multiple?
gonna have one on
Are there
pretty
multiple?
much what you're gonna start on
That's a
every single
funny
game.
way to have
Most of the
multiple
time
of
when I
one
complete a
type.
level, it charts me back at 1-1 1 or 1-2, it gets pretty old. Then there's just the potential this concept has. It could be like Mario Maker, where you have different Mario game themes. Imagine a Mario 2 or 3 or world theme. What about completely unique characters like Peach or Toad playable? Also, a problem I have with
Oh,
these
no, it's
Battle
just
Royale
one.
games is once I get first place, I kind of lose a lot of motivation to keep playing. Oh, I beat it. I just think Mario 35 has so much potential.
Oh yeah,
It's growing
this won't work
too.
because
It's super fun, but I'm tired of playing the first 2 levels.
yeah.
constantly.
All
I
right.
see how this game could
Let's
be so
see
much
if we
more.
can
But as it stands, that probably won't happen. Much like Mario 3D All-Stars.
Maggie
Mario
Dolan.
35 is set to expire
Christ.
on March 31st. After that, it's
We'll just try this though.
well, that stinks. At least with 3D All-Stars, there are physical copies out there, so no matter what, you'll be able to find the game and play it. If you already own it, no worries. Mario 35 is an online game, and when it's gone, it's gone. Nobody can play it ever again. This one I have a harder time understanding. Definitely more work putting into this than 3D All-Stars. It has unique music and a really good online multiplayer system. And to just throw all this work
Oh,
away
so
after a few
close.
months
That
of
was
being
funny,
available,
though.
this doesn't seem like
Let's
a
try
way
it
to
again.
heighten the celebration, as Nintendo put it. This seems fucking stupid. Well, the next part of the 35th anniversary release this month, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. How does this celebrate? It just fell into place. You can't tell me Mario Kart Live is supposed to be an anniversary title. A little weird the Switch hasn't gotten any word on having a Mario Kart to go its own. I know people
Pick the
keep pointing
pit.
to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe selling so unbelievably well. Of course they're not going to make a new one. Games selling really well is why you make a sequel. That Super Mario Brothers is selling so damn well, of course we can't make a second or third or world. Obviously Mario Kart's a little different, where each entry is different enough to release on the same console. Yeah, this is kind of a one-game per system franchise. But that gives them an excuse to go hog wild for a new do something
We just
weird,
beat-
do something different.
We just beat him with. Wow.
They did what I asked.
Mario
King
Kart
of
Live
Swords.
Home
Isn't that a
Circuit
card that I can
would not
use?
consider a full-fledged game.
Oh, well.
It's pretty much a toy with a Nintendo Switch app to go alongside it. For $100, you get an RC Mario Kart with your choice of Mario or Luigi. You connect it to your Switch, and now your living room is a
Yep.
Mario Kart track.
That was
One
pretty
will
much worth
learn
this.
to love.
This is honestly a super cool feeling. Like, wow.
It
Not
should've given
only
me,
is it
like,
fun to see your
20, to
house
be
from this
honest.
perspective, but controlling the RC car
I'm gonna
with
get
the
much more
controller
worth.
and the way it turns and accelerates, it feels like Mario Kart. Not one-to-one, but enough for this to be a really cool experience for the first hour. This is definitely something I don't need to go back to ever again. I really should try it out at some point, but there's not much need to it if you, one, don't have a ton of living space,
Bye-bye.
two, don't have a huge desire to set up elaborate physical courses. Because they have a lot of visual themes for courses here, though the track setup depends on how much you're willing to do in the real world. Most of the music is completely recycled from past games, and playing with multiple people, that's gonna cost you 2 Mario Kart Live Home Circuit sets at the very least. Really neat idea and novelty. It's just kind of not much more than that. But that's not really at any fault of the developers. It's just a cool little toy.
It's a
That's all
dead
it should
end.
really be viewed as. Since it needs Wi-Fi to operate,
I love
you don't
the
get a
stairs.
game card with the set. Instead,
Like on
you
this
have to
one, like
download a
the
free
fact
app
that it's
off
just
the
like
eShop, which means
intensely
anybody
is
can get in on
being.
the fun, even if you don't buy
Also,
the physical
look at
set.
all that
Oh, yeah, I
USB.
got
That's
Mario Kart
awesome.
Show us the card.
I think it's supposed to be USB.
Pick the
Okay, we
Dorito
totally
Lock
watched like
Boy
all
like
this already.
kind of- You can make about that. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. I like that EA is at least kind of supporting the Switch with decade-old driving games. Hey, these are still pretty fun, and it's given the platform some good racing experiences. Weirdly enough, this came out a week after the PS4 and Xbox One versions, even though it leaked on the eShop and was fully playable months beforehand, so it wasn't like it needed extra time.
Cool, we don't have to
Family
worry
Feud.
about that.
I love Family Feud games. I don't love this Family Feud game. You can't skip any of the cutscenes or dialogue. I don't need this much animation. Just give me the damn
you doing
surveys. Why is it so
No,
hard for
really.
developers to make games?
I come here when I'm feeling down.
Is that Chidori's sketchbook?
Oh, yeah. This is where I first met her. What are you doing here, Fuka?
Oh, I went home for a bit. I've been going back there a lot lately.
I see. You know, you've really changed, Fuka. You're totally different from when you first came to the dorm.
Really?
Yeah, you were so timid back then.
Junpei and Fuka showtime.
You've changed too, Junpei-kun.
Yukaton said the same thing. But I don't think so. I mean, just the other day I got all freaked out about being scared. I even lashed out at the leader. I'm one piece of work, aren't I?
That's not true.
But I really was scared. Actually, I'm still scared. But after thinking about it, I realized that I don't want to lose my memory. If I forget everything, that means I'll forget Chidori too. And I wouldn't even be alive right now if it wasn't for her, you know? So I say F that.
You're scared because you're not running away. That's nothing to be ashamed of.
Fuka.
That's why I want to protect everyone. Think about it. The dark hour is really scary too, isn't it? But our Pissona's awakened, and we're here today. The future hasn't been decided yet, and I want to be true to myself.
True to yourself. You're really something, Fuka. We should fight.
I agree.
He just pulls out a gun now when prompted to fight. Alright, I'm gonna do Mitsuru. Why was she not on the same page as Ken? But yeah, I totally haven't done any Mitsuru, so I can count how many times I need to spend time with her and then just do this. That's what I've been doing for Akihiko and Kari. Way of love, way of love. Fuck. Alright, so Mitsuru only needs to be spending time with Weiss.
Hi.
4 more days until New Year's Eve. I've been thinking about what I'm going to do on the 31st. I was afraid I might go crazy from fear. I was wrong. I feel strong. Like James, like LeBron James, you know what I mean? The Fuka rap. Diamonds. No, I could have done. Nice. Oh, there's no fucking school today? Oh yeah, 'cause vacation. That sucks. Ass. Handballs. Let's do more Mitsuru. Alright, so I'm done with her, I think, unless I did this wrong. If so, whatever. Oh, I'm tired now. Now I'm real worried I won't have time. Alright, friends. Akihiko, just so I can get them done. Ah, shit. I hate how I skip text so much. I'm sorry. That's probably just too much for it. Ooh, is this Ken finish off? Oh, okay. Well, let's go. Man, these fights are so soggy. Just had an idea. I don't have time for Ken. Totally. Yeah. Maybe. I could redo everything I just did. Fuck it. Oh no, I didn't save after that. Fuck. Alright, well, I guess I'm doing Ken. Oh, they're just talking about meeting. I don't like how I promptly skip everything. It's just hard to take my
I'm
finger
back, everyone.
off the
Sorry
joystick.
to
Also, I guess the deck. I
worry
guess the
you
deck.
all.
Man, I'm glad to see you. I was getting nervous.
Me too. I was fearing the worst. I'm a machine, so I can always be rebuilt. Even if I was completely destroyed, the programming data necessary to recreate me would still exist.
Hey, don't talk about yourself like that. They said another week would be required for a
Is that like
complete recovery.
robot
What
racism?
I had tomorrow is New Year's Eve.
I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused. Mitsuru-san visited me at the lab and told me everything. That must have been difficult for you all to hear. Have you been well? I mean, considering the circumstances. I've come back, but 10 years ago, what I did to you was... But... I have a favor to ask of you.
Kill him. Do it.
Tomorrow, when Ryoji comes,
Go on. Kill him.
please,
Kill
please kill him.
him.
I can't bear to see everyone hurting like this.
Do
Please
it.
choose to have
Kill
your
him.
memories erased,
Go on.
even if
Don't be scared. Kill him. Kill him.
even if it means for and everyone.
I guess, what are you talking about?
Yeah, this isn't like you.
What's wrong, I guess?
And when she summons her
Why?
ultimate Pissona.
Why did I come back here? My mission is to protect humanity
Hey,
from
how slow
shadows.
she talks. It's almost
But
annoying.
now I know that I can't defeat them. So then, why am I here?
Just to suffer.
I'm useless.
I can
Cannot
still feel
even
my
shed a
arm
tear for
and my
you
leg.
all. Oh, I guess. Why fight when you know that you can't win? What is the purpose of that? Why are you wasting your lives?
Yeah, she's right. We're just planning for the future, right, Ken?
Right.
I don't understand. It must be because I don't possess a life.
This has nothing to do with having a life.
Yeah, you probably would understand.
I'm a machine. A machine that was created to protect humans from shadows. But I can't fulfill that mission with the powers I was given. So then, what is my purpose now? Could someone please tell me?
Imagine making a robot that was just like suicidal.
We don't know the answer, I guess.
This is the thing. This is the Pissona thing pressing.
The only one who can tell you what your purpose is you. That's why we're having such a hard time making our decision. There's just no easy answer. But as long as when we see others hurting, we want to help them. So that's our purpose. I'm not too good at explaining it, but that's what we all think.
Can finding one's purpose really be so simple?
When I saw you collapse, I realized something.
I want to protect you. I don't want to forget about you. Fuka-san.
There are times when you will lose sight of your goal, and you will have to search for it. But if you can't find it again, then you must set your heart on a new goal. I'm not really one to talk, But I feel that I've come to understand something important this year. To truly live, you will need to make changes sometimes.
Do you think I can do that? Do you think I can change?
Yes. I mean, you've changed so much already. In fact, you're changing even as we speak.
I know what my purpose is. I'm a machine. And the one who has given me this new purpose is me. This is the promise I've made to myself. I don't know how I'll do it, but I guess that is part of living too. Yes.
I guess social link? That would be funny. Imagine if that was a thing. After this, I'm gonna take a snack break. Okay. Palladium goes to Athena. Yay.
Will you allow me to join with you all?
Of course.
Thank you. I will be with you all, no matter what happens.
That's the spirit.
Robot no longer suicidal. Let me just save. I'm not gonna end now. I'm gonna have a little snack real quick.